Yay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dice Dames and Dudes. It's been a while.
I just dropped the metal dice right on my feet as soon as we went
Well, at
live.
least
Like
it
as soon
wasn't
as
your
soon as
sack.
the intro was done and you said hello, the dice just dropped right onto my toes.
Well,
Good
at
start.
least it wasn't a D4.
Good start. I mean, I didn't step on them, thankfully. It just landed on me.
Ah. So I think Shay is actually locked up right now. So that's awesome. We'll get back to how she's doing in a few. How are you, Luke?
I am good. I am good. Aside from being assaulted by my own dice, I'm good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Woodrow, how you doing?
I'm doing good, actually. Just working, paying off pages to be colored, and been spending a lot of time Diablo 4 Season 1. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the past week.
Yeah, I saw the
So-
tweets of pages or art rather, and they were looking good. And I saw what you were saying to somebody about how it takes a while when you're funding it all yourself.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I agree, but that's dedication, and that's putting your balls in the vice for something you believe in. So right on.
Skin in the
Yeah.
game.
There.
Yeah,
Yes,
I-
I would. Go ahead.
But I was just gonna say I totally believe in what I'm doing, and I feel it's worth it. So I'm fine taking that leap myself. I'd
Oh,
rather
trust
be the
me,
one
I've seen
taking
it.
the leap.
It's worth it.
How's the thing with the restaurant going? The Brussels sprouts
Oh.
thing that you made. That
Oh, the battle,
competition. Is
so-
that still going?
Yeah, so I won the first round, and it's like a
Yeah.
tournament style, bracket system or whatever. So the bracket after me just got concluded, which was like sweet potato pie versus strawberry shortcake. And
Oh,
strawberry
damn.
shortcake, I believe, is winning. So that'll be my next contestant.
I hope so.
Yeah, before we get to that, I've got one more like tournament bracket, and then it comes back around to me and strawberry shortcake. So that's kind of where that's at right now. It's been fun.
Beat
Really
that
quickly.
bitch's ass.
I did want to mention one thing. So Shay played like 97 games of volleyball tonight, and her team won. So
Oh,
she won the
nice.
co-ed
That's awesome.
championships and the women's championships. So,
Hell yeah!
Well, right on.
yeah.
Is that one league or two full leagues?
No, she's in.
Like-
I think she's in 3 leagues.
Oh,
Because
geez.
she also subs into a AAA league.
Okay, damn.
The other two are just recreational.
It's pretty dope though.
Yeah, she's killing it. She's so
That's
skinny
awesome.
now, like a beanpole.
Yeah, volleyball is hard work. It's not
Yeah.
an easy game.
Shay, I'll let you read your own chat.
Okay, so I'm here, but now I don't have audio.
Yes, you do.
We can
Oh,
hear
hold
you.
on. Shut off. One sec.
Oh, man. I see you rolling your eyes. You've got to be able to hear us.
She's just imagining what you're saying.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, she knows me.
Or it's behind a little. No.
Freaking finally. I can hear you
Freaking
guys now.
finally.
Gosh, that was annoying. Yeah.
Yay,
So
technology.
I don't know what the hell happened. My computer, like right as we went live, was like, "No, thank you." Super fun.
Well, you look
Computer
like you're
says
doing fine.
no.
Yeah, I think it's fine now. Finally. I only had to hard shut it down. It's cool.
So, Shay, what are you the champions of now?
So there's 2 work leagues I'm in. There is the women's summer fours, and then the co-ed summer fours, and both of those had their playoffs, and we won both of them. So Monday is when I played the women's, and Monday was playoffs, so it was 2 games, and then I turned around and had a doubleheader with my AAA team, so it was 2 more games. So I was playing from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. nonstop. And then today, yesterday, I feel it's important to note, yesterday I stayed home from work and slept all day because I felt so sick. And then forced myself to go to work because I didn't want to bail on co-ed playoffs. And it's a good thing I didn't, because our other female was late, so they would have had to forfeit the first game if I wasn't there. But yeah, we ended up winning that after 2 games. So
Nice.
I'm exhausted, but yay, we're champions.
Sounds exhausting.
It's in a gym that is like a converted warehouse that does not have any air conditioning.
Sounds like wow.
Sounds like a hate crime.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
We have a couple of industrial sized fans that blow the hot air around, so there's that.
Yeah, that still sounds like a hate crime.
Yeah, it's
I'm
really
not gonna lie.
bad. It's really terrible. Like, people were calling timeouts just so they could get water.
Jesus.
Crooked Painter, you worry me.
Time
with
out
your,
for rehydration.
Wait, who sounds off?
you got all the legs. Thanks. It's probably me. I'm really congested and
Oh,
feel like shit.
you
I'll
should
be
go for
damned
the
if
army cure-all.
Yeah, I'll go Frog G, someone
Yeah.
pass Shay a healing potion. Bruh, I would so take one. Sounds amazing.
Well, we're going into a rest immediately, so it'll be nice, smooth sailing.
I just
Lies.
need a real healing potion for my life right now.
We believe you so much. Yeah.
I don't
So,
believe shit that
I hit a
Woodrow
little
says.
bit of episode 47, and it's like, yeah, you guys have a nice, relaxing trip back to base.
How'd that go for us?
Yeah.
Did not go relaxing at all. There was a lot of
I mean,
fighting.
to be fair, it could have been a hell of a lot worse, but
It could have, but it wasn't relaxing. I was misled.
They tried to drop a hell grenade on us.
false
Woodrow lied.
advertising.
Woodrow's
All
like,
true.
yeah.
Part of my master plan. Meh.
Are you Dave Chappelle? Yeah.
Woodrow just wants to see if we cry.
No.
All the time.
No.
No, not yet.
I just would like to see if you die. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it was very
That would make
Bond
me
villain
cry.
of you.
So
No, Mr. Bond,
Mr.
I
Bond,
expect him to
you to
die.
Yeah. So I was saving this for episode 50, but since we had such a long break, I'm gonna do like a previously on and then a last time on. So kind of just a little quick catch up. It'll be a little longer, not much longer than they normally are, I believe.
Okay.
So
That's what she said.
so previously, on
Manap,
Dice
manap,
Games
manap.
and Dudes. The multiverse is a sea of rolling chaos that rarely makes sense. 2 Steves simultaneously plug a cursed technology from the abyss into their custom gaming deck, while on the other side of the multiverse, Kronos uses ancient alien technology to take a relaxing VR vacation. The collision of these 2 technological forces had a shockingly profound effect on the material multiverse and even the planes beyond. Since this initial and somewhat mysterious event, 2 of our party members, Dis and Bryn, have woken up from their dreamlike existence as video game characters and joined Kronos and one of the Steves, aka Kirby, on their journey home. Where home is for Dis and Bryn is still to be decided, but so far everywhere they set their feet has offered nothing but more challenge and strife. With the party mostly unsure of their surroundings, they have been focused on finding Manos and using him to find a way back to their reality after hopefully destroying Manos for good. Along the way, the party has noticed the world coming to life around them, not knowing what is going on, but sympathizing with these NPC characters. They created a safe haven, taking in those who seem to have consciousness and helping them escape this nightmare of existence some terrible mortal wrote them into. And that kind of the general gist of what's been happening, which brings us to last time on Dice Games and Dudes. The party was on their hunt for Manos, while the rebel allies prepare to help retrieve Kirby's avatar body. While tracking Manos, they came across his original base, where he was gathering warriors from across his gameverse before the players interrupted and changed his plans by crashing into his realm. Dis managed to sneak through the encampment of Goliaths and Frost Giants, collecting the game data, the very record of the dream they woke up from before all hell broke loose, literally. Manos used his influence over Kronos to open the portal system to the abyss, allowing the demons to hunt the party as part of his terms for godhood and rulership over this new demi-plane he has created. You also, on the way home, found two stranded lovers, but let them go on their way to enjoy whatever life they could find before this universe reaches its final conclusion, whatever that may be. On the way back, there was the ambush as well, but you guys managed to survive that and have a nice, smooth journey back to the rebel base. You do have some time before you reach there, and you accompany or I guess freed unconsciously a lizard folk who was working on the systems down there at the base, trying to dial the Goliath's home plane to get them out of there.
Right.
But you knocked him out, and you haven't really gotten any information from him, and he's just kind of chilling, unconscious somewhere on your ship. But
I was kind of gonna wait till we got back to the thing as something for mainly me, but maybe Bryn and I can interrogate him while Kronos is busy fraternizing.
Busy.
okay.
Hang a sock
Busy.
Hang a sock on the thruster.
So you guys managed to take the rest of your voyage back to the base, no problem. You guys arrive, and it's pretty quiet in the base. You do hear the gaggle of Steves in Bach's laboratory with Perry and Bach, and they're all kind of just chattering back and forth like they normally are. They all seem to be annoying each other as usual. Everyone else seems to be kind of just doing their normal thing, or in their room. But the place, yeah, you guys have it all to yourself, whatever you wish to do.
We got the collar off the lizard guy, right? Because I remember
Yeah.
he had like a slave collar type deal thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're what's your engineering or your sleight of hand, whichever one's
my
higher.
sleight of hand's a +10. My engineering's only
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, I can't remember if you made the check, but your passive is enough that you could easily do it with taking some time, not under the pressure.
27.
So, yeah, so you're good. Pop it off, no problem.
Was it Bach who is our computer whiz?
Yes.
So maybe since Kronos isn't going to be available, maybe let Bach see the servers, but not, like heavily. You know what? Maybe Steve? Maybe Jello Steve?
Jello Steve.
I don't know. The Steves are kind of intelligent.
Yeah. You think that.
I think
They may
that-
not have a lot of wisdom, but they've definitely got intelligence.
So basically, they need a chaperone, is what you're trying
Yeah.
to say.
But you're taking the game servers to them just to see what kind of information they can get off them.
Yeah, preferably not starting with Bryn in mind, because I need to see that they have some expertise at this before, it's precious cargo, as it were.
Okay. So when you find Steve, he's actually next to. I just closed the NPC thing. I had too many tabs open. But the Ravix, I think, and Itham, the two NPCs you guys had met that taught Bryn. Kirby's actually on the game consoles in the base next to them, just kind of playing away. When he sees you walking out of the hangar towards him. Oh, was that a piano? There you go. It's kind of Mass Effect-y.
Yeah, I guess that would kind of draw fellow Kirby Steve's attention to the fact that I'm carrying, servers. It's usually heads or gold.
And so you generally don't, from where you come from, necessarily know exactly what servers should look like. So for all you can tell, they look kind of normal. Kronos, as you kind of have looked at them when they were on the ship, something about them definitely seems off. It's as if, these were like hard drives plugged into a computer that was like fried, but they work. They look like they've been to hell and back, essentially.
Interesting.
Wait.
So probably literally been to hell and back.
Are they spinny platter drives, or are they SSDs, or are they NVMe's?
I'm not a technician, but I think is it SSDs, right? The internal hard drive of a computer, just a
The
data
internal hard-
storage.
well, those are
Well,
all internal
SSDs
hard
are
drives.
solid
It's just-
state. Most laptops have solid state drives. It's flash memory in your phone, your laptop usually.
So
spinning
the old
platters.
kind of drives are the spinning platter ones. A lot of servers still use them because of the capacity, but they actually have moving parts. The old ones don't.
Spinning platter drive.
Oh, then it would have moving parts. Yeah,
God, that's a notebook one, isn't it?
that's
Huh?
crazy. That's so
a
small.
notebook
Yeah.
one,
It's
isn't
like
it? I've
Yeah,
got a
it's
3.5
2.5.
drive. I've got a 3.5 drive right next to me.
Oh, I've got like 4 or 5 of those on the other desk over there. I've got an obscene amount of hard drives. It's stupid.
yeah, I
build
need
a
I
server.
need y'all to help me build my computer when I build it.
Oh,
Okay.
sure. We're gonna be getting Shay a new one. Doing it.
Good.
She needs it
Yeah.
to be able to play any of the
Yeah.
games we're gonna play. So, and I
Yeah,
probably need to upgrade from my 3070 video card.
I've got an older gaming rig that I'm going to turn into a media server and file server.
Yeah. By the way, word to the wise: if you're gonna stream games, you want a streaming PC and a gaming PC, and just have the gaming PC
Yeah.
out the streaming PC.
Yeah.
It works
I
better.
mean, I would use my my computer and my laptop. If I was going to do that.
so glad I don't want to stream games anymore. I used to really want to do it, but I'm boring. I tried it. You can see, I think on my YouTube, there's still videos of me playing like Need for Speed or something, and I'm like, yo, it's your boy, blah, 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 blah. It's like whatever my stupid gay intro was. It's really, really cringy.
Oh my god! Now I gotta watch this.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still up. If they're not, I'll send them to you.
I've gotta see this.
You can die. They're bad. They're so bad.
You can
But yeah,
die
so-
from the cringe overload.
They would essentially be whatever the first one you said, the one with moving parts, the wheel drive or whatever. They're
Yeah.
old school.
Nice.
When Kirby sees him, he gets kind of excited and he's like, well, why do you have those? It looks like they fried to hell.
All right, crooked painter. That ain't right, man. She's frozen with her boob in the camera.
That's what that is?
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
the
Looks
The
like
non-native-
some abstract thing that just says Red Valkyrie in the back.
no, it says that's her school shirt. She Under Armour SNH.
Under Armour, yeah.
I'm sorry, our school shirt. So the non-native natives had this equipment, and according to what I understand of it, it is various game servers.
Yeah, I know. It looks like my old servers. Well, I upgraded from those a while back. I mean, I like
Yeah,
the
thanks,
taste,
by the way.
but what, huh?
I point to mine. Yeah, you see that one?
Well, I don't think they're literally mine. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by literally mine. I guess it could be one of like theirs, and kind of like a little pseudopod comes off of them and points around the fucking corner where the lab is. But what are you looking to get off of them? Exactly.
Whatever there is to get off them. Clues, information, anything out of the ordinary. Anything that will tell me how
Maybe
we
what
jumped.
Manos was doing with them.
That too. How Brennan I got here, other than trying real hard to get the hell out of that universe before it ended.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I could look them over. Kronos, I'm probably gonna want to use your ship for that. They've got all the boxed equipment locked down on that focal device. They're making a lot of progress, though.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, maybe your ants can help. They seem to enjoy technology.
It's true.
and-
The ants do enjoy a good puzzle.
Plus, they're small.
What's it like having a room full of other versions of you?
Are you getting along
Just
with yourself?
making a bunch of noise and stuff. How's that going for you?
Well, luckily I'm ooze, so they forget I'm here, so I can just
Ooze away.
sloth away. It's really annoying, to be honest, and I'm kind of afraid that something bad's going to happen. I just hope we can all find whatever tether leads them back to their world and get them out of here. Me, hopefully us too, but really, really hopefully them first.
Is there like any way you could home in on their home universes or whatever, wherever they were pulled from?
That's what we're trying. We have the data where they're pulled from. We're trying to figure out exactly how to manipulate this tech. We've still got to fight the design of all of this. The way he's talking, he still sounds like he's talking like you guys are all in a computer, but with the way that everything's being tethered to the ethereal and the astral, you don't really think you're in a computer from your knowledge, Kronos. You more think that you've extended the material multiverse. It's just kind of where you're home. You kind of go from universe to universe. This is even beyond, outside of that, some abstract demi-plane that was created. It follows the rule, because the way demi-planes work is the ruler of a demi-plane makes the rules, hence being the ruler. So if it is believing that it is a computer or a machine, and everything will function in a similar way, it doesn't necessarily even have to make the same sense. It's whatever makes sense to the abysmal machine that controls everything.
Right. And so this demi-plane is what Manos set up.
Mm-hmm. So you can manipulate it kind of like code, but you're not literally in the machine. You possibly never were, or maybe at some point you were and were transferred here, but you're beginning to think that something with the connection between the seed and Manos and the abyss, and it's reality destroying. It's unfathomable, essentially. It's beyond mortal comprehension.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like gay.
Yeah, no.
Sounds like Manos needs to die.
Yeah, it sounds like Manos is trying to make himself a god in this demi-plane
have
and
a
any
death
other
ray.
plane.
Fairly new.
Yeah. Seems like a good test to see if it works, Can a death ray kill a god? Can we kill a god?
I mean, death is in the name. Who knows?
It's not a tickle ray.
I mean, sometimes it's a matter of perspective. And, resilience.
Legendary resistances.
Also,
Oh man, just
Fucking
start to
spider
read
bug.
about read about 3.5 divine ranks, and you'll start to understand exactly what
I've
you're
read
dealing
some.
with.
I've read some. Specifically, having to deal with Lolth and trying to take over domains and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're getting into.
holy
All right.
shit.
The moving of planes. Whoa.
All right, Steve's. Good on that. Kronos.
Is there a specific one you want me to start with before I get cracking in this?
How confident are you in your ability to not fuck them up more than they already appear to be, at least from the outside?
Well, they're already pretty fucked up, so I'm pretty sure I can't do any more damage. I'm not sure if I can retrieve anything from them, but if there is anything on their left, I can.
Well, they were reading fine before I unplugged them gently.
Yeah.
Oh well, then yeah, I'm sure I can get something off them.
Yeah, they were all being used trying to get home, I guess is what they were trying to do. One of them was an anchor, it seemed. So
We're about
Why
to
did they
get an
smell like-
upshot of Shay.
What?
Nah.
Why does one smell like rotten eggs?
That is
Well, I
very
mean, there
good
was a
question.
hell grenade. So sulfur.
Oh. Ugh. All right. Well, I'm gonna get working on this one. You see, he pulls
Look,
out
the last
Joust.
planet had a special on deviled eggs. I mean, it's happened. Kronos was hungry. Enjoy your alone time with the deviled eggs, Kronos.
So,
A light of smoke.
you guys have
Give Dis the finger.
you send Kirby on his way. He boards your Kronos' ship through the way of Dis's ship and begins working with the seed and those hard drives.
Oh, don't connect it to the internet.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah. He'll do the same thing you did to that file, essentially. Little Faraday.
Air
Yeah.
gap it. Alright, so...
Keep it away from everything.
Bryn, since you heard all that, what do you want to do?
What? I heard none of this. I was trying to get my fucking computer to work for the past 20 fucking minutes.
Alright, so we're giving the dogs and the Yeti a bath.
Okay.
I
Sure.
guess.
That sounds great.
Crooked Painter, I'm not highlighting that. Luke, you can respond in chat.
Yeah, I just did. No, I didn't.
Sitting in the
I
dark makes
did
it look
not.
darker. He totally dyed it. Just for men.
I don't need to.
Right, you old bastard.
Uh-huh.
Shit, what else is there to do? Everyone's busy. Everyone should be busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have delegated out like a lot of, or delegated out a lot of like delegated. That's what I was trying to think of. I was like, what
Yep.
fucking word am I trying to think of? Delegated out a lot of work already, so everyone's.
What
kinda
was
doing
Perry up to?
He's helping with the planar research. He's trying to figure out where exactly you guys are, because he's kind of one of the only people who has possibly any reliable knowledge on that. Everyone else is
Everyone else
guesswork
is
in that
shooting into
area.
the dark. He might actually know where to aim.
Boy, it's kind of sad that, you know, our universe-hopping people don't know where the fuck they are. You know,
Well,
the
you're
people
outside
who
the
do this thing
multiverse.
for...
Yeah, this is new for this multiverse hopper as well.
Well,
So,
can I make a suggestion?
welcome on a grand journey.
That we invent some kind of piece of equipment that will always tell us where we are.
Well, see, that's the thing. A multiversal compass doesn't work when you're outside of the multiverse.
No, but
That
couldn't
is
it
what
point
Perry
us
is working on.
back towards it, like a Jack Sparrow compass.
Mm-hmm. But to do that, you need a map of the cosmos, or like a model. You know.
Cylon's divining rods.
Yeah, that's what they're
exactly
working on.
Well, they're working on it. So, in
Alright.
due time. In due time.
Well, then I'm just gonna rest and rest.
All right.
There was a lot of damage
So-
taken over the course of the last few
Yes.
episodes.
So we will go into the long rest. So Bryn, as you begin to sleep, you have this sort of normal, dreamlike state you go into. Everything kind of goes dark. You feel comfortable knowing that you're on the ship, and that demon is no longer trying to pry through your dreams. You
Bastard.
feel the sharp, chilling air of home on your face as cold flakes of snow fall through the trees around you. You stalk your prey cautiously as you can feel the weight of the world around you grow heavier with each step padding through the snow. Go ahead and give me a survival check. This is sort of just like a primal dream of you hunting. You're wanting to capture some sort of game or something.
Okay.
Very primal feeling.
Well, I got a 1.
A 1.
So that's a
Okay.
12 total.
So, there are no footprints of the beast you stalk. That isn't uncommon because the beast you stalk, you think, doesn't necessarily need to walk on the ground. But what you do see is a brilliant white feather fall from the tree canopy in front of you as you kind of look up to see, and you see just a dark figure. You can't tell what it is, just a dark figure move above you through the canopy ahead.
Totally not creepy.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Heaven help us all. 18 total.
18 total. Okay. So the dark figure, you do see it has wings, but the coloring is off. It's sort of got this dark brownish red coloring. There's a little bit of white here and there, but it doesn't seem to be what you're hunting. It may be competition, another predator after the same thing. Go ahead and give me an athletics or survival check, and you can rage in your dream and do athletics with advantage if you want. Use and then
can I do can I do survival with advantage?
No.
Or is it just okay?
It's more of like, do you want to calmly like take the situation in, or do you want to like just run right to the prey to try and beat the other opposing predator in the area? Essentially.
Okay. So athletics is not being my normal self. Is that what you're saying?
It's athletics to dart towards and just not thinking about necessarily like anything else other than getting your prey, and then survival is more of kind of like taking the situation a little slower. You're not just like running.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for survival then.
Okay.
22 total.
22. So with that, you don't run. You do stalk in the direction, but you think not to run to the prey or what you think where the prey may be, but to sort of get an advantage and take the situation in. So you kind of climb up on a tree, and you can see there is a valley that sort of comes out of this forest that you're in. It's immense, almost endless, just this endless like rolling plains. In the distance, you can kind of see a mountain range, but it's so far. It's just kind of like almost like a painting in the background. In the middle of, or not in the middle, but right outside the break of the trees where the field starts, you can see in the soft snow there a Pegasus, and you know that that's your prey. Whether you want to hunt or tame, that's all up to you, but that is essentially in this moment the goal that you seek. So with that, you said 22, correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. And so then you also managed to see, sort of circling in the air above, you can see a dark figure, almost like a shark or a vulture almost, like circling kind of where the this sort of winged horse out in the field is. So now, go ahead and either give me athletics or stealth.
Oh, they're the same. So, 28 for stealth.
Ooh, 28 for stealth. Okay.
I'm rubbing off on you, babe.
A little bit.
So you
Real
managed
little
to-
bit, and only in my dreams.
He managed to get out of the tree without taking the without managed to get the aggro of the predator up in the air.
Yay!
You managed to move through the trees and get to the Pegasus when the griffin essentially lands on kind of like on the other side of you as you sort of slowly step out of the tree line. So on one side you have this Pegasus, and on the other side you have this sort of red, large griffin with the head of a sort of a bearded vulture. And it's raised up and sort of crying at the horse. And you can see the horse, there's definitely a survival instinct in it that kicks up, but it's not ready to run. It's ready to kind of stand its ground and fight. Go ahead and give me a choice between them and an animal handling check to try and calm one of them.
I'm gonna try and calm the griffin.
Okay.
Oh, you bitch! I almost got a nat 20.
Where's your
25.
25. Okay.
Yeah.
That is very good. So,
It
You walk
almost
up.
hit nat 20, and then it rolled.
The griffin is the more predatory animal, so that the challenge is a little harder. With 25 is good, but I do need one more check, and the DC has gone down because of how high you rolled.
Okay, so another animal
On the first
handling.
check. Yes. Yeah.
16.
A 16. Okay.
Yeah.
So the DC for the second one got lowered from an 18 to a 15 with your check.
Oh!
So
I got lucky.
that is a good thing. So you walk up, and however you would like to tame or calm this sort of predatory beast, go ahead and describe how you would do that.
So I'm just gonna go up to him with a hand out, like I'm gonna pet him, and anytime he rears up, I'm just gonna raise my hand a little higher and look him straight in the eyes, and just kind of do like a no, and then just get a little closer, be like no, and then finally get to the point where I end up just petting him, like begrudgingly against his will.
Okay. So the first one, as you sort of approach and do the first hand raise, it sort of rears up, raising one of its pod talons. It's sort of got these like, it's got a cat-like body with sort of vulture-like wings and a vulture head, but then it's also got these long, razor-sharp talons that it raises. And it almost swats at your hand, but you kind of move it out of the way, and you change your body language a little bit and approach it, but still stay stern. And like you said, you kind of reach up and begrudgingly start to give it the little scritches on its neck. And it's sort of, as you're moving into that position, it like hops down, kind of moves away from you for a second, looks at the Pegasus, back at you, back at the Pegasus, and sort of fights you for a second, but then lets you come in with that last one. You can feel that there's sort of a release of tension, almost like the predatory tension that was in the air sort of releases, and you can see that the Pegasus kind of like turns. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
I'm over here being nice to one animal, and the other animal's gonna be like, "Ah, she's open."
Jealous. They both want scritches.
15.
15. So you actually don't notice. You're so enveloped in this moment.
Of course I am.
All you hear is a whine or a whinny, and as an impossible weight slams into the ground, and you look, and for a moment, all you can see is just snow kicked up in the air, and then the face of Aragoth comes through and just growls at you as you, essentially, the griffin kind of like lowers its head and almost nudges you onto it and begins to sort of take off. You can see that as its head comes through, it sort of has the Pegasus in its mouth and sort of like opens to the side, up, throws it up in the air and just lets it fall down its mouth in one gulp, and then begins to move towards you as the griffin sort of takes off with you kind of like clinging on to it. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check to see how well you take to flying on this griffin with the dragon chasing you.
Oh, thank goodness, 26.
26, good. So you try your hardest to maneuver. You get up out in front of the dragon. You get just out of its mouth as it snaps, but you're just in the way of its breath, and it releases this sort of ice breath that kind of like blows past you. You feel the impossible cold, which for you isn't as cold for other people. You've kind of lived in this terrain, but the breath is still definitely vicious and biting cold. You feel the ice forming like bludgeon you. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Moog.
26.
26, okay. So the onslaught of breath isn't enough to separate you from your mount, but you hold on as the mount sort of begins to careen towards the ground. You can feel this weird change in the dream where everything sort of lurches forward. You're not going the same direction. You're in this like spiral down, and you can feel the weight of everything sort of pulling you towards the earth like gravity, like you're a meteor just getting sucked down towards the earth. Dis, as you're sort of preparing your normal nightly ritual, as everything goes down, you sort of like stay awake for a couple hours, like you said, then go into your trance. There's a moment in the room before you start your trance where everything in the room grows heavy. There's almost like the gravity has increased in the room, and you sort of look over and you can see the hammer that she has gotten from I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Vishmal or Vashmal, whatever, that orc, that gravity hammer sort of leaned up in one corner of the room, and you kind of use your perception, your elven perception. You're like, okay, no, it's not coming from that. And you go to the other side of where Bryn is sleeping, where she sets Axie, and the sensation seems to be coming from Axie. You're not exactly sure what's going on, but go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Ooh. Do I have that? Yeah, I do. With almost no bonus. Ooh, a 19. Plus 3. 22.
22. So with the way that Bryn is attached to the axe and the way it craves battle, you get a sense that the axe might be claiming its trophy from one of Bryn's conquests, and you know that when she added the dragon bone to Axie, it was able to essentially invoke the power of the dragon bone, and you get a sense that one of the things it got from the dragon might also be the ability to devour magic from other weapons. So you just kind of have this like tingling on the back of your neck that Bryn's axe might be getting a new ability if things go well.
Or it wants to swallow the hammer. Nom nom.
As long as Bryn doesn't fuck it up.
As Bryn doesn't fall off.
I mean, let's be real. Bryn
So-
fucks a lot of stuff up.
Do I have
Back
the
to-
feeling that moving the axe closer to Bryn, maybe putting it in her unconscious hand, would aid her in what she's doing?
Possibly.
Ooh, look at you thinking.
So I'll do that.
I literally would be like, huh, I hope that dream goes well. Like, I'm glad that
Yeah.
just as like, if I scooted it to her hand, could that help? I'm
It's
like, oh,
kind of your spiritually bonded weapon. Being
I
closer
know.
to it can only help you. So.
But you know, I am dense and would not have considered any of this.
Well, you know, that's why I'm the one with the 22 wisdom. And we got you a cursed ring to try to boost you.
So
This gave me
Yes.
a lot of drama for a very long time.
You're welcome.
Thanks, appreciate it, man. Her story,
Considering I bought you the ring, and it was like,
her story is my absolute favorite. You douchebag.
can't wait till season 3. It's all cursed all the time. Okay, so I put it in her
Everything's
hand.
okay, so back to the dream. Like I said, everything sort of lurched. You feel like you're falling, like gravity is pulling you. But when you come to, you made your check. So you are on your griffin, holding on to the feathers as it sort of. You can still feel the weight, but it's pulling you as you open your eyes up towards an open sky. You can see the dragon behind you seems heavier and is falling. It's still a threat, but it's definitely not right on you anymore. And you can see up in the stars, or up into the sky, you can see the stars, sort of the constellations all around. When one kind of directly ahead stands out to you, it's a Valkyrie with her arms open. And you hear the mount underneath you sort of start to struggle. And you can feel the weight of the axe in your hand now, knowing that that's the source of all of the feeling of weight and heaviness. And you hear a familiar voice in your head say, "If one must fall, fall with the weight of 1,000 stars." And then, essentially, what
I
happens
can
is
fall
that
hard.
yeah, that lurch happens again, and this time the griffin essentially changes direction, and you begin to fall down towards the dragon. And as you do, you can see, like sort of like when a meteor falls, you can see streaks of fire and heat start to come off the griffin, off of your your axe, and even off of like the sides of your armor as you're falling down towards the dragon. Go ahead and give me a, let's see, an attack, but you would have advantage from the help from Dis.
Can I bless her? Or would that wake her up?
No, you can cast like a bless on her if you think that would help, but then that would essentially give you a D4 to add with advantage. So as you like essentially pass her the axe, you can just do a little bless.
Oh my gosh. So I'm assuming you did that, Dis?
Yes, I already cast it.
Wow, that was abysmal. 18 total.
18 total. Hold on one sec. I think.
Well, I tried.
I know you did, babe. I'm so sorry.
Well, I tried. Okay.
Can I outcast it and give her a D8 instead?
You gave me a D4 and I got a 4. It was my attack rolls with advantage that were.
I know, but if I gave you 8 instead of 4, then you would have had like a 20.
What did you get? What did you get on the dice? I'm kind of curious, just out of curiosity.
I got a 2 and then I got a 1.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
really
2 gave her a
bad.
14, and then my 4 gave her an 18.
Yeah.
So, luckily, it was a skill challenge, and we're going based off totals, and that's only at the second failure. But what does happen, because you failed this check in the dream, as you're falling down towards the dragon, this time he lets off a breath weapon that is the lightning version, not the ice version.
You bitch.
As you're arching back to throw Axie, it hits you, and Axie basically essentially drops from your hand and begins falling, and you kind of like reach out for it, and then as it falls and you kind of go past, the dragon tries to snap at you, but the griffin sort of moves you out of the way as you're just focused on the axe, and you fall down. The dragon sort of stops up in the sky, opens his wings, and looks down at you as if you think like, oh no, I'm left up for this thing, when behind you can see a couple spots in the leathery part of his wings begin to grow bright as meteors just through 2 parts of his wings. Another one slams into the shoulder section and begins to cause him to tumble down right next to you as you guys both essentially fall. Your axe, a dragon, your mount, you all tumbling towards the ground, when you just feel an intense boom, 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 boom from all the slams.
Look, you told me to fall hard, so, if I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna just ball up and be like, alright, let's do this shit.
Go ahead and give me a strength saving throw as you sort of pick your head up from the impact out of the snow, and you can see the handle of Axie just 15 feet away from you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You get it. Oh no. How much?
16.
Roll a
16?
D4.
No, you also get a D4 because it's a saving throw.
Oh, thank goodness. Alright, so that's 20.
Ooh, okay. So the DC is a 19.
Oh,
Red Dragon. So.
son of a bitch.
Okay, so
I'm glad you're sleeping first, so I can regain all these spell slots.
You sort of reach out, and it takes a moment. You can feel the weight of everything. Axie just feels incredibly heavy. And eventually you call it to your hand and launch it over at Ergoth as he's getting up out of the snow and bearing down on you, mouth open, and the Axie travels down his gullet and into his body, where it just essentially explodes. And all you can see is this sort of rain of electricity and ice, and then in the center of it, the fire of Axie sort of exploding, and it's typical original fireball. And you get a sense that it's all sort of part of everything that's been added to Axie. It's almost like Axie's having this dream as the explosion sort of implodes back onto Axie, and it just sort of falls into the snow. And you hear a clapping in the distance of just hands. Now that was impressive. It's not often the big guy allows the imagination of mortals to be born into the planar landscape like this. I think your patron brought you here for a reason, and I accept her call. Come find me in the Great Halls. You don't need to know how to get there, you just need to truly want it. And that axe has more than enough willpower to bring you there. And I can give it what it wants, but make sure you keep up on your tattooing before we meet again. I don't want to have to lie to you when I tell you I like it.
Stop rolling ones.
The name's Vasimir. I hope to see you soon. and he just sort of like walks off in the snow, and you can't really see him, but you can tell he's another fellow Goliath, and you can just sort of like see the burning spots of his eyes like behind the sort of snow and blizzard that's sort of in that area blowing around.
I just got slow clapped in my dream.
Yeah, golf clap.
He's like,
Okay. Now, Shay, write down Vasimir.
I'll write it down on a scrap piece of paper that I will then lose.
Oh my god.
This is why you need a book.
It's almost like you need
Y'all are so cute.
one of those journals
Hey, that's not what those are for.
in your Atari bag
Um,
that I spotted there.
So that is your dream, but we will get back to you waking up later. Right now, we will go to Dis and your trance. Let's see. Oh,
So
sorry,
did she
that's not
return
next.
to a normal sleep after her?
Oh yeah, she gets normal restful sleep. That's just a little moment when you
Okay.
sort of before you go into your trance.
So I can stop focusing and blessing her and talking with
Oh, you
her.
could have blessed and went into your trance and been fine. Concentrating on a spell is good as long as you don't try and concentrate on another spell. So, one bless would be cool. I'm not gonna. Anyway, and I was wrong. I'm actually going to Kronos next. I got that out of order. So Kronos, while
Racism,
you're
Yes.
yes, exactly to the back of the line. Now, since you are
I'm
your
just
allies.
Roselle here. Boss.
since your companions are enjoying their rest, and it does sound good, but you had something else in mind. You go to see what Suzari is doing, and she's in she's in the garden area, like normal when you check in on her, and she goes like, "Oh, I've been meaning to show you something. You're back, so I guess we should take a trip to your ship." And she can see she's like really happy and trying not to give something away, like right now in this moment. She wants to wait till she's on the ship to show you, but she's giddy.
Knowing you, that means I probably should be worried. Yep, let's go.
And she like picks up a bag off the table and sort of follows you to your ship. And when she gets into the ship, she goes, "Okay, so I've been dealing with some of your friends," and she opens the bag and some of the ants crawl out. And she's like,
Oh, okay, those friends. Okay.
yeah. So similar to some of the cats in my grove, you know, the leaders, the ones I like, I bestow a sense of, or a spark of intelligence upon them so they can keep all the other ones in line. And I thought if you're going to be traveling, you know, the multiverse and all that, you could use, or they could possibly use a little more intelligence. And no offense, she says to the ants. So this should help with the mechanical natures of your ship. It should increase their capabilities, and they should be able to communicate now. She's sort of like looking at them. Their voices are very small though, so like eventually they sort of form and coalesce similar to they have before from the other ants on your ship, and the ones that she awakened are sort of in the face area, and you can actually almost like a little council with these tiny voices. You can hear all of them sort of talk in unison at the same time, and it sort of creates like a voice, but you have to be really close to them, and if there's any other ambient sound in the room, it can drown them out. But they can actually speak common
Awesome.
with you, and they basically they go, "We would like to thank you, oh lady, for granting this upon us." And then they bow to her, and she's like, "Oh no. You've put in far more work than any of my cats. You deserve this more than they do." And she's sort of like laughing, and she goes, "But that's not the best part. I want to show you this." So she takes you into where your tree was,
Yeah.
and she goes, "The cool thing is, I'm not just limited to animals. I'm actually, one of the things I was doing in the grove when you guys left to guard the area from me leaving was I was awakening some of the trees to work as guardians. So I figured before my time's up, I could maybe do that to your guy. He seems like he's going to be young, but having him move around will probably be a convenience for you, and just being able to communicate with it. I don't know. Figured you like that.
That would be helpful. Is there some way I can help you with that?
Could you brew me a nice drink?
I can definitely do that.
All right. And she basically gets to casting a spell where she's like setting up all the preparations. She's really excited to do this, and part of her was probably really curious as to what the fuck the tree is gonna say when she awakens it. But yeah, she seems to be very into this ritual for the moment. And you basically have time to sort of prepare drinks, some smoke, some food, however you would want to take this time. This can count as your rest, and you don't have to like sleep the whole time. Essentially, you can get a long rest, just kind of chilling.
All the above food. First thing I do is make a gin martini, dirty wet up, and take it over to her.
Nice.
And then I continue making the rest of the food.
All right. So for the next little bit of your rest, the ants go about their work on the ship now that they've been reintroduced, awakened, and they will go do their thing. Now, as that happens, we will move over to you. Okay.
It's here.
So you take your trance after the little moment with Axie and the blessing, and you sort of focus your mind. You enter your trance like you have time and time again. You're reaching out to the realms you have previously touched, and you've felt these, not entities, but the presence of other places out there. As you're in your trance, you've felt a dark presence, and you've seen like a dark tower. You've also felt what you think could be the presence of Zinzarina, but it was very, very light. And then you've also felt the presence of something very dark and oppressive, which you would know from your history to be the Spider Queen, Queen of Hatred. Lolth. I always say her name fucking weird.
Just say it Loth, like moth. Fucker.
Like moth. Lol. You feel all of this like you have before. You don't necessarily see it, but you can kind of feel it out there, and you're trying to navigate it and reach out like you have many times before to this Zinzarina presence.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just read chat.
No, you're good. You feel the thing stirring, and you can't help but fight the feeling in you that you were just birthed from the imagination of some unimportant mortal somewhere. But with what you've seen, who really knows that there is a grand purpose to all this chaos? You delve deep and deeper into thought, thinking of everything you've experienced. When you feel familiar, oppressive force for a moment, one you haven't felt this strong in a very long time. You're taken back to the city of Neriak, I think is how you say it, but it's the city of hatred, and being tortured and taught her ways, the very thing that made you want to rebel against her, lie, and follow Zinzarina, as you didn't you had a constant feeling of wanting to get away. You didn't fall into line like the rest of her little matriarchs. As you tried to sort of unweave those memories to find purpose, the memories all of a sudden lurch and pull back, sort of twisting you up, winding around you tighter and tighter, like a spider that has caught its prey. You hear a voice you've actually never heard before, only has been spoken of to you. You think a drow as useful as you could ever just walk away from me? I know everything there is to know about you. I spun you into existence, even if through the mind of a mortal, inspired by what? The bite of a spider as a child? A fear so deeply instilled in the hearts of mortals everywhere, an emotion that let me sink into the background of every material plane. Soon, the mechanical abomination your friend has awoken will do its job and tear the multiverse apart, allowing me to reshape part of its waste into my new paradise. For you. For Drow. And you can feel the web sort of tightly wind around you, more and more, sort of cutting into any through your armor and what feels like it's digging into exposed flesh. As you try to sort of move against it, you're stuck. You feel the tapping of small and even large legs walking over your tightly wrapped cocoon. Bryn, you wake up in your room on the bed in the ship with Axie in your hand, feeling a new weight to it. If you look at your description, there is new description on the axe. And you're sort of looking at it and you go, yeah, there's definitely something different here. I'll have to get Enar down to the training room and start swinging, chopping some stuff up. And you go to turn to tell Dis the excited news when Dis is nowhere to be found in the room. You do see something odd, though. There's spider web on the walls and hanging from the ceiling and on the floor, and almost like as if there was a wall of spider web that had been torn through in your room. But Dis is nowhere to be found.
Grody to the max.
Am I able to speak back to the voice that's talking to me?
You can, yes. Yep.
Now, why would someone supposedly so powerful need to reach out to such a lowly outcast across the planes of existence? What could you possibly need? I'm the last one here.
To break your will. No one escapes my wrath.
And I'm practically married. If my will was going to break, it would have happened to Wiley.
You
Okay, bitch. Please.
You have no idea the depths of despair I could bring you to. But I will let you simmer here for a while, like all my driders.
You're not done cooking yet. You need to simmer.
That's terrible, Luke.
What am I, a stew?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Ugh.
Such a tender
Red
steak.
sauce?
The next day comes to Kronos has had a nice night with Suzaria, learning the ins and outs of the way that she is awoken. I never realized when I started saying that how bad it was going to sound. I tried to stop, but druidic magic.
Wow. Yep, that's better.
And
Damn good time too. It's always a good time with my girl.
One of the things you learn is the ants that after taking about 3 hours and kind of going over some stuff.
3 hours, you dog.
They try to get in contact with you, and they do tell you that there's something strange. They want to tell you something that they didn't notice before when they essentially didn't have the intelligence to put things together. They were just kind of they're insects sort of reacting.
Right.
Learning through osmosis. Now they're kind of like a human. They can kind of like an average human. They're not necessarily like Sylvar, who got the dragon intelligence, but they can function. And they tell you that there's something strange about the technology that they can't quite put their finger on. Before it was just a section they avoided. It's always seemed to essentially destroy anything that came in contact with it. It just outputs so much energy that the damage was too much for any of the ant forms to take. But since they've been thinking about it lately, they've been trying to toy at it and get into it, and they are perplexed by what it is. It's a massive store of energy somehow. They say it's in some way, maybe possibly similar to how all of the energy from the video games and such got converted into sort of a functional real demiplane. there's just an intense amount of energy in this, almost like a eternal battery, right? It's like an unlimited source of power coming from this thing, and they think it's
Right.
actually protecting a lot of things, but they think that there's information in there that could be accessed if you could get past the damage. They think that there's some kind of memory bank in there. So it's something that they want you to think about, possibly delving into and figuring out is how to come in contact and access this part of the seed in your ship. And you know that there was a part that you had to always touch and use, similar to like a nuclear rod, right? You always had to have tools to move it around and touch it.
Yeah.
Because you put it on, or when you found it, essentially, it was destroying and eating everything around it, and you kind of stored it, and eventually it kind of reconstructed a part that you put into your ship, and that part's all kind of history. But originally there was a piece of it that was like a nuclear rod. That is something that they are very, very interested in, and they want you to try to find a way to crack. You've always just sort of seen it as a power source. Not that there had ever been really any information or anything in there, but they seem to think that there's more to it.
Okay. I wonder if it would help with the with getting all of us out of here. All right, so the seed, too powerful. You said the energy is coming off of it in waves, or is it? It's constantly just on.
It's constantly outputting.
It puts out a lot.
Mm-hmm. From what you thought it was, you thought that was a part energy source and partly what breaks down the material to base, like protons and stuff that it sort of reconstructs using. So you sort of thought it was like the void power source that sort of like helped it deconstruct and reconstruct everything. But you've never really had a reason to mess with it as soon as it sort of formed the ship. You've sort of just kind of been using it to travel ever since then.
So you've been using the byproduct of it instead of accessing its potential.
Essentially.
Or not using it to its full potential because I didn't understand the technology.
We also think that it was sort of shaping to your will, which is why it made what it made. It was sort of like giving you what you wanted.
Yeah, that would certainly make sense. That would it's understandable why it stitched my my old touring van to that alien ship like it did. That makes a lot of sense. Never thought about it. I mean, it's kind of what I wanted, but I guess didn't really consciously think about it. Thought it just kind of happened because that was. I guess I thought it was just pulling. It was reaching out to its original place for the ship. Now, interesting. I don't know. All right, that's the outputting energy. So. What they want me to crack it? Like how? What do they mean crack it? They want me to get inside of it? I mean,
get into it somehow. Like make a device that can read it, but you have to essentially manipulate it to do that, and they can't. They're just too small. Every time they try to get anywhere near it, it just burns them to bits. You feel like with your crystalline armor, you could just pick it up and move it around. Do you think? Because if it's just doing damage. Then, yeah, touching it should be no problem with that. And you have that for an hour, so that gives you an hour of work. And then you can use tools beyond that. So if you want to spend time like doing engineering stuff, eventually you can sort of work at that and sort of crack that seed open. See what mysteries are in there.
Then that's what I That's what I will work on. So what are we doing now? Do we still have time Can I
Yeah, you have a
work
day.
on
The
that
day
now?
is sort of just started.
So I am going to assume that I am in a complete and utter fucking panic over the fact that there's a bunch of spider webs in our room and no discs.
And as soon as you try to get in contact with this over your telecoms or anything like that, there's no reply. Yeah, I'd assume that
Okay.
immediately sets you into a panic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like lose my shit, and after calling Enar before, because I don't want to go to Kronos and be like, oh my gosh, this is gone, and be like, okay, let's just make sure I'm not stupid. Let me get the thing dumber than me to help me look real quick. Just in case I'm being really stupid and it's in a really obvious place, because Enar will like lift up the whole bed and be like, what? Be like, oh, yeah, there's this. Okay then. So, Enar and I are sweeping the room before I run out to Kronos in a mad fucking panic.
So you go get Enar, you bring him back to the room, and as soon as you're sort of like, trying to explain things to him, and he understands. He can't speak. He's like a Wookiee, except he can't speak language. Wookiees actually have a language, but he's like
Very woke.
trying to communicate that he understands. Like, oh yeah, we're trying to find the small one. I understand. And as soon as he walks through the threshold of the room where you guys usually sleep, the quarters, his eyes dart to the webs, and you can see his nostrils are flaring, and he sort of like steps towards it and kind of just like smells. It just looks at you, worried, like bad. That's bad. That's very bad.
Awesome. So I look at Enar and I'm like, anything other than panic. I have panic. Anything other than panic, buddy.
We're all full
Give
on.
me. You know what? He's gonna make a persuasion check. I'm gonna roll a dice.
Come on. Come on, Enar.
Okay. Yeah. So he got a 2. So he's not holding composure. He
Yes.
looks at the web, looks at you, and he doesn't freak out. But you can see in the face he's holding back the freak out. Like it's just behind the veil. And he's like, I don't know what to do. That smells like bad, like evil.
that smells like bad. Awesome. Okay. I look at Enar and realize that this was like bringing a 5-year-old into a crime scene. And I just basically like, hey buddy,
Poor
it's okay.
traumatized little bastard.
It's okay. Go play with the puppies. I will figure this out. Okay. And I just kind of like, go on. Go on. Like, okay, that was a bad idea.
Good job. Traumatized the Yeti.
I know, right? Which, are you still there?
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Okay. You were just really quiet. Alright.
I'm just thinking.
So I'm assuming that I kind of shuffle Enar out of the room. Who's clearly panicking, but I would assume that he's probably not fighting me in the fact that I'm telling him to go away from bad.
No.
And I basically like give him one of the dog toys, and I'm like, go play, and be happy and not think of this. Then I just kind of like turn. Yeah, so I just turned back to the room, and I'm like, well, fuck. So I'm like screaming at the top. I like,
I mean, aren't your quarters on your ship? I mean, I'm on my ship, so you're gonna.
Which is on Dis's ship.
Is it?
Yeah, your ship is
Oh.
the sort of escape pod on Dis's ship. They're all
Oh,
connected.
right.
I just yelled really, really loud, like forgetting that I have a neural link to you and couldn't have just called you calmly. Like I panicked the fuck out and just screamed so it echoes through the whole thing.
I'll take an
Alright,
earbud out. Huh? The fuck
So
was
that I finally compose myself, and I'm like, Kronos, could you please come over here for a moment? I need your help. Like over the neural link.
Yeah, sure. Was that you screaming? What was that?
Yeah, I'll explain in a minute. If you could just, hurry the fuck up, that'd be great.
Okay. I'll super speed over there.
Thank you.
What?
So,
All right.
What?
So I
The
just
fuck is that?
open the door and I just go, thoughts?
Why are there webs on your wall?
I don't know, but they're so
And
nice.
where's this?
Spider does. Spider
Fuck.
does whatever a spider does.
Okay.
I woke up to this.
Here comes the spider does.
Great.
I woke up to this shit. And dumb me, I was like, maybe Ener will be able to help. So he's probably rocking back and forth with the hellhounds now. Because he definitely
So if he
did
didn't
not
have
handle
arachnophobia
it.
beforehand, he does now. Got it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I'll call Suzaria and have her come take a look at this.
right.
Okay.
Just for my own peace of mind, Woodrow, how many hours has it been now?
Well, you're not getting any
Younger?
rest.
I
No.
know.
No,
You're
it's
not
bit-
gonna get any
from
younger.
from your perspective, which is different from theirs, because you're not on this plane of existence anymore. It's been a while. It seems like it could possibly have been a week or two of you just sitting in this cocoon, starving slowly, feeling the legs of large and small spiders crawl along you, and you can feel things squirm almost next to you, like you're tied up with other people. And then every now and then you'll hear a, and the moving will stop.
Can I shimmy or summon any of my blades to my hand?
Actually, you can attempt to try to do that.
You can attempt to try.
Because you see,
You can,
I have
though.
these tattoos.
So
It's like a double.
you're, so you have disadvantage because you're essentially restrained and all the goodies. But I'm gonna need a sleight of hand.
Alright, what is my... Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Excited.
Don't get excited.
A 16 or a 12 plus 10
14.
is 22.
Oh, that is not enough.
Oh no!
So I can keep trying though, can't I?
You can't, yeah.
Try harder.
Try harder.
A 19
Oh.
or 15. And a 15 plus 10 is 25.
So at 25,
Yeah.
you do manage to get eventually your shadow karambit out, the one that is a slashing weapon, the one you'd probably want. They're both +3
Yeah.
magic, so one's not necessarily more magic than the other in terms of level. I would say you could go ahead and try to cut, but your weapon
that
would
was
have no
coming.
effect on Lolth's web.
Knew that was coming.
This is my
Welcome
magic
to
work.
highly divine rank beings. Yay!
So you can try, but it'll do fuck all.
Can I
You're
can I
on her plane of existence too.
can I shadow out of the web?
Nope.
Can I focus and try to reach out to Zenserina?
Yes, you can actually.
This is
So
basically
go ahead and
how
give
many
me
ways to
a-
break?
No, there's not ways to break. You can try everything. It's just Loltha is a very high rank in divinity, and when you have a divine rank of 1, when you attack someone or do anything like that, to a mortal who doesn't have any divine rank, it just counts as an automatic crit. So yeah, once
Well,
you start
that's
getting
rude.
above that, it gets pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, you can reach out to Zinzarina, and you do have a holy symbol on you, which is very good.
Yay!
Um,
Sorry it
and
hurt so much, but it's worth it.
We will get back to that. Don't worry.
Uh,
Kronos, you summoned
Yes.
Suzaria. When she comes in, the demeanor on her face changes from happy to severe when she gets the message and understands the tone and everything. And she's just kind of like, well, what exactly is the scenario? This is missing? Question mark?
Has disappeared, and there are spider webs on the wall in the room. Just weird looking giant spider webs.
Her face looks over to them. And you can see like a sinking emotion in her eyes, Kronos. You can almost
Don't do
see
that.
it too, Bryn. You don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
She just turns and goes, "How much do you know about the religion of Drow, or elves in general?"
Not enough.
Definitely not enough to explain this shit.
Bryn, do you know Dis's true name?
I'm sorry, there's a different name.
I'm assuming Dis isn't their full name.
Motherfucker. I'm like, my
I'm
ADHD
attack-
brain now is like, do you
I'm
remember
attacking-
ever having this conversation? No. None. Fuck. Why did I take notes? Shit.
Well, that's one option. Don't worry, there's more than
Nah.
one way. But no, but she looks at you and
Nah.
she just goes, I don't think Dis is necessarily missing. I think Dis has been claimed. Do you guys,
The fuck she has? Hold on.
have-
Wait a second.
have-
That's my ass.
There's a matriarch that claims to rule over all the Drow, which, according to legend, she's done a fair job of killing most other Drow gods. So her pantheon is quite powerful. There's a few others, Ilistri and Zinzarina, who hang on, to my knowledge, but
So,
she...
because Dis doesn't follow this web bitch and goes with Zinzarina, I'm assuming that this is bad.
If Dis is not a follower of Lolth, then, I mean, even if she was, it would be bad. But if she's not, which she doesn't seem to be, it's even
She
worse.
definitely is not.
She's probably going to be
Awesome.
tortured physically and psychologically in various ways, and in an attempt to have her will broken. And if that doesn't work, she'll be magically transformed into a monstrosity where she won't have any free will, really, at that point anyway. Or what free will she has will be twisted to do the will of her new matriarch. So,
Okay. Game plan. Do you have any possible way of us finding where Dis was taken?
finding, no. But I have been practicing something to get myself home that might... I mean, that was before you guys showed up, but it might help in this scenario if you know Dis's true name. And I'm not blocked or barred, which if she's in the presence of Lolth at the moment we try this, my spell might not even have any effect.
Okay. Is there anything that you guys can think of where Dis might have like their true name written down somewhere? Which I realize it's Dis.
The server.
Oh no. Okay.
The server that you guys came from.
Do me a favor. I need you to go and try and find that through the server. Cesaria, I need you to try and figure out if there's any way for us to get here, and I am gonna try talking to my ancestors because
All right.
maybe they know something.
Before I
First
run out
things-
to go look at the servers, do I see anything about the webs? Anything useful with the goggles? Anything at all?
Not with the goggles, but you do see that they extend into the ethereal realm. Whatever these webs are, they're potent.
I mean, can I grab one and pull myself into a different realm? Because I'm about
No.
to try. I'm about to just follow this bitch.
Like a
fucking
beanstalk?
red.
You hear from the
Okay.
ceiling, "Unwrap me."
There is a beanstalk that's magical that will take you to the
I mean-
greater wilds.
Yeah, it's not like an
Beanstalk,
artifact. Those
breadcrumbs.
3 beans.
Fine. Something.
So first things first, Kronos, you do see that the webs were obviously created by something powerful. So
Yeah,
Susaria's
something
probably
that,
on.
that fucks around with the ethereal. So
Yay.
yeah.
Yeah, so Susario, or planar travel in general. So she's probably
Yeah.
onto something or pretty accurate. With you going over the server, we will get to that in a moment. First, I want to go with Bryn, and you said you want to ask Skeggold.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
can go ahead and you can sort of do the same thing this does, where you go into a trance, and where you have before, where you've done your what's it called? You have a spell.
Augury.
There's augury, but I think there's another one, isn't there?
Sanctuary is the blessing of Skeggold. Augury is
okay.
consult the spirits or clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance, that's yeah. So you're kind of trying to do the clairvoyance on where Dis is, even though you don't think it'll reach, but you're also trying to do the communing with the gods. You're kind of trying to do all of it, throw everything at the wall. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Just don't meteor the wall.
Or a religion check if that's higher. I just don't think it is for you.
Yeah, my religion is +0.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, wisdom saving throw in this case.
Come on, don't be bad. Go fuck yourself!
Oh,
I got an 8 total.
okay. So you're trying to calm yourself, but your heart is just literally, it's the most panic you've been since you've been real.
That's fun.
This is the first time you've really felt panic like this. Everything has kind of been anger and rage and like sort of scared, but it's been a different kind of fear. This is a fear where you feel like you can't do anything about it. It just intensifies everything. So you're reaching out, and in the moment through all that, you do feel the calming embrace of Skeggold sort of wrap her arms over your shoulders, down around your neck. Just kind of hangs on your back and says, "Things may seem tough, but have faith. You may be still in this scenario, but it is okay to rely on others." And then there's almost a whisper of like something that is very, very important about your relationship with Dis is sort of that ability to rely on other people and sort of let go, which is hard for you being a barbarian, but you have learned to do it. So there's that moment where you don't really get any answers because of the role, but you do get a calmness that people are on the right track, and if you just stay calm, there's a good chance things will work out. But you also do have, wasn't there, you said sanctuary? You have sanctuary?
So, yeah, sanctuary is one of them that I have.
Okay.
But it's that's warding a creature within range against attack.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to think. Is this what do I have your
Sanctuary, augury,
and then
clairvoyance.
or clairvoyance?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're sort of just focused in your trance on that. Chronos. When
Yes.
you go to try and get whatever information about Dis you can from the servers, you see Kirby. He's on your ship working like he said. He's not playing
Yeah.
Joust, but he's using Joust as the guinea pig to like see if he can get in and extract in how the data works. And he's like, so these things are really, really jacked. The Manos code is all through but this Manos code is insanely malicious or even malignant. This is terrifying stuff. But
Jesus.
I can get into it. It's just more infectious than the other. What we have in us, our Manos, was child's play compared to whatever this guy is. So, a little nerve-wracking, but you seem... Everything cool? You want to play a game of Joust?
Well, no. Dis has disappeared. There are ethereal webs going, basically through the fucking wall and the ceiling into nowhere. And, we need to find Dis's real name. Their true name. Nobody knows what it is, and I thought maybe we could get it off of the server that both Dis and Bryn came from. You think we can do that?
I mean, it's possible, but this is where things are going to get weird. true names are sort of like the name you're given at birth, from my understanding, right? So is the birth the code, being put into the code, or the name they get? Okay, we'll figure this out. I'll give you some options. And he starts like changing over the servers and like.
I would guess from the reality, not the code name.
He's
Not
like,
the name in the code, but the name, this name in reality, in that
Well, what if the
reality
code-
that they came from.
But if we're gonna want to try both of these, and he's like trying to process what he wants
might as well
to say.
get both of them.
And he's like, as he's
Yeah.
going, working at it, like 1,000 miles a minute, he's basically like, just hear me on this one. If the code is what was used to bring everything into existence, that might
Right.
be Dis's true name. We all could change our name or call ourselves whatever we want, but that might be
Sure.
So Perry's talking about this thing called universal law, and you needed the true name of the demon, and so like I think he just starts going at it, and he starts pulling on stuff, and he goes, so Dis, if you want, you can go ahead and put in the chat what like your quote unquote full name is, and then also he like what you call yourself in your memory or whatever. that's what another option that Kirby pulls off. He pulls off like the tag code for Dis's like model and character or whatever in the game, which is like just a bunch of code lines. He goes, I don't know which one it is, but if hopefully Susari doesn't have to say all this out loud. You just like, put it in the spellers. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Give me
there's
a
lot
little
of
bit of
variables
credit. I'm not going to be fucking binary. I will at least be hex. Okay. So since the words true name came out of your mouth, I actually put it on my character sheet in the notes section. So where do you want it?
You can pop it in the private chat or the normal chat, wherever you want to drop it. Just let me know.
Okay.
So that is one piece to Susaria's possible solution, a spell she's never tried but has been studying. All right.
It's not all that different.
Dis, we're gonna go back to you. Okay, let me scroll. This is a long document. Sorry, there it is. You said
got
you were
it.
trying to reach out.
Yes.
To Cesaria.
No, it's a Zinzarina.
Or yeah, sorry,
Zinzarina.
Zinzarina. There's too many Z's. As you're reaching out, there's a moment where you're trying, and there's almost this release, and you can feel like the sensation of spiders crawling over you stop, as if they all are almost like pushed away from you. And you can feel wherever you keep the symbol of Zinzarina, either inside your power armor or on it or wherever, the bag of holding, it starts to sort of radiate and get hot. You hear a different voice in your head. This time, says, "The way you cling to vengeance, you truly are my child. Your thirst for bloody retribution has kept me alive, even with the Spider Queen doing everything she can to make sure I'm wiped from existence. I can't let her break you now." As you were trying to cut and pull up the webs, trying to cut with your sleight of hand, moving ever slowly, still, you do manage to pierce the web and cut yourself free in a moment. As you sort of lurch forward, kind of like the Matrix when he comes out of the pod, you're actually like
Nice.
looking straight down, just covered in web that's clinging you into this cocoon. And as you look around, all you see is darkness and pillars of just web and cocoons.
Sorry.
Some of the coons squirm as you sort of look, and you expect to see like driders with spears and all these sentries and Lolth's dominion or domain, but you don't see any of that. You just still kind of feel the force of the realm you're in, but there's that sort of release and you can breathe. But you're looking directly down, or just surrounded by darkness. When you look up, darkness, look down, You can see almost through the web there's a slight glow way far down, but that's the only sort of discernible landmark you can see besides these just pillars of web that stretch forever as far as you can see. You feel like down where the light is down only because gravity is pulling you there, but you have no real idea where you are. And as you sort of take that breath, you hear the voice continue. Together, we can fracture her. Fracture her will as she did mine. But you must have faith and follow my guidance. I need you to free someone she took from me. Find the cleric Zelana and change her heart before you cut it out of her chest. Do this for me, and I will have enough power to gate you out of this realm. You can find allies here. Use what aid they offer, but do not let them hold you back. And remember my teachings. And
Stab everyone.
you know,
That's your teachings. Okay.
essentially, yeah. Don't lean on others. Or it's the exact opposite of what I just told Prin.
Nice.
Stabby
You can only
stab
rely on
everybody.
yourself.
Yeah, it's the Sith. Zinzarina is Lolth, but she's more free and more open to things. But she's more just Sith-based. Like, she embraces the magic, is where Lolth doesn't want her matriarchs using magic, because then they can gain more power. Zinzarina's like, no, free yourself from that bullshit and be the strongest you can be. So, kind of like that. She's used to be god of chaos, but that got taken from her by Lolth when Lolth attempted to kill her. And all the pantheon she was able to get back is, I think, illusion, lies, and assassination. So she's kind of just like lives in the shadows in the minds of a few followers that she has left. This being one of them, who was recently birthed into existence, giving Zinzarina just a little mote of power. And now seems Zinzarina wants your help growing that mote of power.
Okay,
So
what was that name I have to find and change their heart? Because that sounds easy.
Zilwana. It just seems to be some priestess of Lolth that Zinzarina wants you to find. You get the sense that
And rip the heart out of.
yeah,
They have to change her heart, then rip it out.
The empathic feeling is she was once a disciple of Zinzarina, or well, once of Lolth and switched to Zinzarina, then was converted back to Lolth, and she wants you to convert her or scare her out of her faith of Lolth and then kill her to remove power.
Fairweather. She's like, who's doing well in this eternal war? No, this one, I'm totally for you now.
Ooh.
100%.
So, illusion, deception, and assassination. I think I'll disguise
familiar.
myself as Zinzarina, scare the pee out of this other cleric, and then kill him.
So,
That
like I
sounds good.
said, you are just stuck in a forest of webbed pillars and bodies. As far as the eye can see, there is an up and a down. You can go further out, like left and right in that plane if you wanted to, but you feel like that would be pointless. You're feeling like in this realm, up or down is your way to actually get somewhere. Go ahead and give me a religion or arcana check before we get started, just so you can see how well you can navigate another realm of existence, because they don't follow the same laws.
So my choices are 18 or 18.
Okay. What did you use? Did you use religion or arcana?
Let's go with religion.
Religion. Okay. From what you remember from your teachings from the Drow, a lot of the astral planes, the quote unquote material, physical laws, don't really matter as much as the will of the person on the plane. If you stay strong-willed, you feel like you'll be able to maneuver well. But if you were to let like doubt or fear sink in, you'd get lost. It's sort of like that. Going a direction doesn't necessarily matter if your will is strong enough and you know where you want to go. So that's sort of what you know from your teachings in terms of traversing other planes, and that goes for multiple planes of existence. You don't know if it 100% works like that here, but that's from your teachings of planar travel. That's kind of how it works in the realms beyond the material.
So basically, take a few moments, solidify my will into finding this other person, and I should have better luck.
Yes, so you won't be wandering as much, essentially. Also, while you're looking around, your passive perception is enough to pick up some of these cocoons have interesting features. Most of them you can't really see anything. That's why your eyes kind of pick up these few features. One of them, on the outside of the cocoon, most of them are just fully sealed and tight. But this one on the outside, you can kind of see some of the person's gear. And in that gear is a broken holy symbol of Lolth. And that one's sort of up a little ways from you, not too far. And another one is kind of down back the opposite way. And it's like a cocoon where it looks like the person may have been turned upside down in the cocoon. And they have sort of like an arm sticking out. And there is a short sword kind of webbed to their hand. And then their cloak is also kind of sticking out of the web. It sort of like drapes over their arm. And it kind of like creates ominous symbol of Zinzarina's holy symbol, but it's a body hanging in a cocoon. So it's just kind of like, you might be digging into it a little bit there, but it's kind of what it looks like.
So interesting. I believe somewhere in here. Yes, I do. Oh, I have to touch. So does my magic work in this realm?
So it does to an extent. You get the sense that planar travel, which is why your teleportation is probably not going to work here, planar travel can be blocked by powerful deities in their realm to varying degrees. Lolth being so powerful, she may be even able to stop your minor teleportation, which it seems like, because you tried, she has been able to do. But other magics, you're not exactly sure. When you try to like do any sort of like little minor cantrips you do, like illusion stuff, that seems to work. Damaging spells seem to work.
I'm going to try identifying the objects that are sticking out of these cocoons.
Okay. Good. So the short sword, as you're sort of moving around, or well, actually, I should say, which one do you want to investigate first? You're doing
the sword, then the cloak, then the broken holy symbol.
So the arm is of a drow. The short sword seems to be just a simple +3 poison short sword. It applies sort of like a viper's 3d6 poison with each attack without having to actually put poison on it. And it's +3, so it's very powerful. This person was, some kind of adventurer or something, or priest. The cloak seems to be, I think it's called just a spider cloak, or a cloak of spider walking. Allows them to walk on webs and walk on walls without having to cast a spell or focus and concentrate on that ability. So it frees up their spell casting, if they have it.
Bring that back with you.
Which you're not sure. And then as you're sort of investigating it, that cocoon stirs, sort of moves as you're sort of like getting close to investigate. It sort of moves in anticipation of something.
The sword cloak or the holy symbol?
The sword cloak that you got close to investigate.
No,
sir. Yeah. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I'm
gonna.
So while I may find allies, don't rely on them and remember her teachings.
Stab every motherfucker before they could stab you.
That's not what she said, but...
That's not what she said. That's what I heard.
She said, you can find allies here. Use what aid they offer, but don't let them hold you back. She said, use them like pawns. She didn't just skewer them, but yeah.
Fine. I mean, listen, this is this we're talking about. You know that they heard, stab.
Stab.
Keep them around while they're useful, then stab.
Yeah, because, I need the cloak and the sword.
And she also did say can, meaning you don't have to. Because Zinzarina is all about self-empowerment. So,
treat yourself.
That's your call.
That's
your call.
That's her.
I'm going to make the dumb call. How's my rapier feeling in this realm? Is it feeling thirsty?
So, interesting. It feels more mundane, but it still seems magical. It still seems like it does mostly what it does, but it does feel different in this realm. And this specifically, your other stuff kind of feels normal, except your holy symbol of Zinzarina, which feels hot. But this weapon just feels like it moves or is weighted differently or something you can't quite tell. It's not affecting the way you move it mechanically or anything like that, but there is just something different about it. Whoa.
Could I still activate the rage?
Yes, you can.
Interesting.
You sort of bite your tongue or your cheek or however you twist your nipple, whatever your preferred method of starting your rage is.
Bryn's not nearby, so I'll bite my cheek.
Yeah, so you sort of bite your cheek and the blood fills your eyes. You can feel the blood boiling. And you want to fuck up whatever's in this cocoon really bad, but you kind of like simmer that down a little bit.
Can the rapier still whip?
Yep. You extend it.
I was going to say, just twisting a nipple is not going to put him in a rage. It's going to put him in
it's going to start a different emotion.
It's a whole different thing.
We fade to black as this rides.
No!
Is there a way to stab into the cocoon without stabbing into the cloak? Cape thing?
Yeah, you think you could use your sleight of hand easily to cut it open, and your shadow karambit previously had cut the cocoon, so you think with your holy symbol being hot the way it is that you may have some semblance of Zinzarina's power or divinity has been gifted to you in this moment to accomplish a deed for her that would grow her power. But she's risking a lot. you think.
Well, I am a relative, so I mean, she's got to roll her dice somewhere. Yeah, fuck it. I said I was gonna make the dumb choice. I kill whoever's in the cocoon and take their shit.
Okay. So you have a +3. +3 poison short sword, and the poison is just 3d6 extra. The saving throw is 15.
So not super awesome. All right, and
actually a +3 magic item is very awesome, but compared to the shit you have, no.
Shay, stop treating this like an unboxing stream.
Yeah, you have an artifact, so it's a little different. That's why it feels different.
Not an unboxing stream, but I've been waiting for months for this, so shut up.
Oh, nice, that's dope.
It's the
gotta enjoy the small stuff.
Or jersey.
I wish I looked good in jerseys. Too much of a stick bug. Look like a tent, a walking tent.
Yeah. Or a coat rack where something is draped off of you and like.
Did that hanger grow legs? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my gosh, this is like the freaking all of the different shit that's in Beauty and the Beast. Like the credenzas come to life.
Okay. Now onto the holy symbol.
The Lol's holy symbol. All right.
That's broken.
So similar thing. This seems to be. There's actually not any magic items. Their staff is removed. They don't have any scrolls. They do have a scroll pouch. It seems to be empty. And the broken holy symbol is no more magic than a normal holy symbol. But you think the crack might be symbolic, like this is someone who disgraced Lolf. You think that everyone in this area might be, possibly. But it just seems to be possibly a disgruntled priest of Lolf.
Are they dead?
You got locked up in the naughty part of Lolf's realm.
Is there another?
This is timeout.
I'm pretty sure Lolf's realm is just torture and torture.
But this is the timeout torture. We have to think about what you did, and then you die anyway. It's fine.
This is the torture room.
Yeah.
So for this, I'm actually going to need a medicine check from you. Or like some kind of spell that would detect life. I don't know if there is. Is there a spell that detects life? I know there's abilities.
21. Wouldn't a grave cleric know if something is dead?
So you would know if something is undead. Checking if something's dead would be the same thing. It'd be like a medicine check to tell.
21.
For sure. 21.
First.
No. Actually, as you're sort of feeling around with your crazy plus to perception, you'd be able to actually feel a very faint heartbeat.
Why don't I have the healing stick?
You have healing magic.
I know, but I don't want to use up anymore.
Also, you were kind of like, snatched in the middle of the night, so didn't, have the opportunity to give you the stick. So, yeah.
Is your stick better than bacon?
Yes. Yes, it is. Do I have any of my stuff?
Yes, you do. You were not.
Confused.
You were not like, taken in your trance. You were literally gated. So yes,
Okay.
you actually have all your stuff, like your items and everything. Anything you would carry on you, on your person in your trance, which I'm assuming is like your bag of holding and your power armor, because you don't ever let go of anything.
No, I don't. But, there are two reasons that I get out of this armor. One of them is the shower.
So do you know how many times it took me after a session to roll to see if Kronos could get that BFG out of the room? He had to use 3 spells, and I think that was it, but I had to do 4 rolls, 3 spells, and he had to have the resources to fucking do it, so it wasn't at the end of every session I got to try. So yeah. It's hard to get stuff off of you, guys. Ugh.
I suppose I could give him a potion. But why would I feel like this guy doesn't have anything useful, so he has to be here for some other reason. Fine. 44 plus 4. I cram it in whatever orifice is closest.
Okay, you make some cuts, try to find a face, force the potion down. It is a female drow. She
Don't get any ideas.
She opens her eyes and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. No." She starts she's in a cocoon, so she can't really move her arms, but you can feel she's trying to push her arms out at you, like to push herself away from you. Hasn't clicked what's going on, but she seems to know where she is. To be very familiar with the lore of where she is, the deep lore.
I'm gonna grab her by the front of whatever shirt, armor, whatever she's in, and kind of shake her a little bit to get her to shut the fuck up, and say, "Look, follower of Loth, you are going to guide me, and the moment you become unuseful, I will feed you to that 8-legged bitch. Do we have an understanding?"
So, give me obviously a intimidation check with advantage. Is your holy symbol? Where do you keep it? Because I want to know.
I'm pretty sure it's mounted on my armor.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, roll with
Like-
advantage.
Above El Bubo's.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you displayed it or not. So, but yeah, you could go ahead and make this check with advantage then.
I will take the 16 plus 15, so 31.
Okay, so that is going to get through. She seems to be very familiar with this tactic. She just sort of nods and goes, well, what is my mission?
What is your name?
Geldria.
Oh, if it was Zolana, I was just gonna fucking start carving.
She said, well, what?
Gotta change your heart first, remember? Gotta get a change of heart before you start carving up.
Yeah, she's got to get this heart to change it, right? She's got to have one to put in after she takes that one out.
Yeah. Change of heart. Sure.
That's her mission right there.
Not piss me off.
No, but she seems with the 31 intimidation completely, essentially under your command. At this point,
She's like, whatever you want.
Yeah, and she's happy to not be in the cocoon because she doesn't know what's going on. She sees the Zinzarina symbol. She knows why she was here, so she's just kind of like gonna see what happens here.
Why were you here?
Isn't it obvious? My faith waned. I didn't want to hurt the males anymore. I started to get them out of the city. Oh.
And that makes one of us, but I mean, yeah, whatever.
So you think with the way she's talking, she may be a follower of Elistri, which is just another female drow elf who's more about like being free, dancing in the moonlight, kind of escaping the Underdark.
Fucking hippies.
I think she's kind of good. I can't remember, but I think she's a good drow goddess. It's been a while since I looked her
Yeah,
up,
that goes
actually.
against the grain, so I'm just gonna call her a hippie.
Hippie, yeah, he's too fucking hippie.
Fucking
Dancing naked in the moonlight.
liking
Barefoot.
dudes.
Fucking
God, that's
crazy.
abhorrent.
Damn it, Des!
It is. It's unnatural for our kind.
Over here trying to save you, and you're over there lecturing somebody about being straight.
It's no. It's not. It's not straight to drow. Drow hate
Yeah.
dudes.
Well,
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know of a cleric named Zalana?
I was part of her flock before she cast me out.
Like, girls,
Good.
BFF.
We're gonna find
Over
her.
there.
Since you know her, we're gonna find her.
I'm sure this isn't gonna go poorly.
No, this
Then
is
she
going to go
says-
swimmingly.
Then she says some words that really catch you off guard. She says the name of your home city, which I think I'm going to pronounce wrong, but we'll see. She goes, then I guess we should find our way back down to Neriak and find her chambers. I'll assist in what way I can. I'm a studied priest. I have access to... And she sort of looks at her spell pouch. She goes, well, what spells I have memorized.
Like, I have access to. Ah, shit.
Yeah, this
I
isn't.
I can
This
make
is
a
not
light
an open
bulb.
book test.
She starts writing shit down on her wrist. She's like, hold on, give me just like 5 minutes. I got this. It'll be fine.
Neriak, we have to go back to that.
Yeah, so you feel like going down towards the light, and you're essentially going to have to stealth into the city. I don't have any maps for this because it would just literally be a bunch of tokens on a map chasing you. We're just going to go theater of mind for this one. It would just been a bunch of wasted effort.
Okay, then
Um,
I'm gonna grab her and jump.
Or you're just going to straight fall?
Well, once upon a time I had wings.
You do. Yeah, I know.
We're gonna
So-
see if they still work here. I don't know, but you know what? I feel like we need to speed this along.
Leroy Jenkins!
Goddamn right.
So you
But-
grab her, sort
but
of
stealthily.
Every fucking time.
Yeah.
Disroy Jenkins!
Go ahead and give me a stealth check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Jesus.
It's okay. It's still going to be like a
What?
37. We're fine.
We always let just do this shit and just always does the most ridiculous fucking bullshit. It always just
My-
kind of works out.
My lower
Let?
score was a 16.
Let.
So
And you're
31.
31. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I rolled a 19 and a 16.
Oh my gosh.
So, like I said, still 37. We're good. No, so you sort of you're
Back
attached
to this whole
yourself.
let thing.
You've attached yourself to this web of, or this pillar of webbed cocooned bodies. You cut one open and free this priestess of Lolth. You sort of grab her out of the cocoon and grab her tightly because you're about to just lean back and open your wings and begin to fall down through the pillars towards the city of hate, Neriak below. Go ahead while you're falling. That is one accomplished stealth check for the skill challenge of getting into the city unseen. Your the way the skill challenges work, if you remember, you can't do the same skill twice. So you can do stealth every other if you want, but you'll have to do. You can think of things you want, casting spells and stuff to get successes as well, but you can, for instance, stealth checks, right? So there's that. Survival or investigate for hunting, essentially, like navigating the city. Religion checks for sort of navigating the realm, or sort of rules of how people work there to try and help you stay hidden from a different from a knowledge angle. Acrobatics is a way you could squeeze through tight areas to save on travel and stay hidden and stuff like that. So it's another type of stealth roll, or increasing your speed that you're moving. So you could use any sort of skill you want if you can fluff it in a way
Probably
that would help.
investigate, since I'm familiar with the city.
Yes, you are.
Since, I
sort
was
of.
born there.
Now, as
Well,
you're falling, go
The
ahead.
quote-unquote real version of the city, and that's
Yeah.
kind of why I picked investigation, was to spot the differences, so that I can kind of try to glean where.
Okay. So, the city below is not really a visage of your home city from the game. I mean, in architecture, it looks similar. It's in a big dark void. There's no. Neriac has sort of that underdark top. There actually isn't that here. It's just sort of this plane of darkness above where these pillars hang down. Eventually they stop as you just sort of are falling. You have to sort of cut your way through webs as they get thicker towards the end, but you break out of this sort of canopy of web and start flying down towards the city as you're peeking things out and seeing the differences. Go ahead and give me the total of your investigation check, and we'll see exactly how much.
Was it with disadvantage, or was it just normal?
No, this is actually normal. No disadvantage for this one.
Okay, 30.
30. Okay. The reason you had disadvantage with stealth is because you have to move. You can't be moving recklessly when you're stealth, and you're like, I grab her and just fall. So.
Well, that and the
Because you
fact that I'm
hurtled yourself off of a fucking
Yeah.
ledge, and we're like, woohoo!
In the
On
shiny
the way
back.
down.
and I'm the only thing
With the
moving in a
woohoo
realm
and
where
all.
nothing moves.
Really, yeah.
Except the woohoo was like, woohoo! Softly.
Yeah. You start to fall over the city, and you make your investigation check. Did I get it? Did I? Okay.
Yeah, you got the 30 for the investigation, but
30. Okay.
so I'll also, in a very stealthily quiet type manner, kind of shake my, what would you call this? My koala,
Money
and
maker.
My marsupial
Like-
baby.
which way, to see if she has any additional insight beyond what my investigation will give. Just to,
Does anybody
Okay.
else have Blur's song too stuck in their head now?
yes.
Woohoo! Okay.
Wow. Okay. So she's sort of trying to get her bearings. You can see she's probably never really cast fly or flown like this. But as she's falling, she sort of looks and gets a bearing, and she does point. So basically, with any sort of survival or investigation check, now that you've engaged her, from this point on, you'll essentially have her aiding, unless you tell her to change her, tell her to do something else. But she's essentially aiding you with your investigations and survivals. So as you're falling over the city, you do see things stirring and moving, but it's weird. They seem to be paying no attention to you. Every now and then something will pick up and fly from one part of the city to another, but it seems to be like, as you're looking with your perception, maybe a gargoyle. There seems to be some weight to it, maybe some sort of defenses of the buildings or something. Down in the streets below, the connecting buildings that descend, they're almost like spires too, that just keep kind of going down, and they're connected, similar to elven houses and trees, except the trees here are giant pillars of web. And you can see that it does eventually go down to a flat surface where there is like a large sort of city structure at the base, and it's on the edge of the cliff that just sort of looks like it just descends down into void. You're assuming from what it looks like you may be on a border of the shadow so the underworld shadow, essentially the shadow realm from D&D, and her layer of the abyss. So yeah, you're sort of in a transitory part of the plains as you're falling down into this city. She's pointing out, go ahead and give me your next skill check. You can stealth again, or give me any of the other skills you would like to use, or anything like that.
Yeah, stealth. Only
Stealth,
a 28.
28. All right, let me make a check real quick, because now we have some sentries. Oh, that beats the passives, but I still have the lookout. And nope. All right, cool. 26. You said 28, right?
I did.
Okay, yeah, so 26 will not do it, and that is a success for the sentry on a stealth check. So it's 3 successes so far. You can see that Galadria, or Geldria, that's what it is. Like mixing it up with Lord of the Rings names now.
Galadriel.
Yeah.
She's definitely
She,
dying when I'm done.
She's sort of like, swallows her breath as you guys are sort of creaming down towards the city with style. And you get to a spot where you can sort of land, and she's pointing in a direction that seems to be some sort of like cathedral spun and hanging in the webs over the city. You do see sentries all over this that are priestesses of Lolth. You see driders, and yeah, that's it for right here. It seems to be some sort of Church of Lolth.
Gross.
Okay, so with the stealth you're in. So now you can like acrobatics to speed up the process, or continue sneaking, religion to try and know sort of how the drow move and work to know like how their sentries would move, to kind of like help you that way. Any sort of skill you want. Just can't be stealth.
First, I'm going to talk to Galadriel here. Have you ever been in this temple? Is this temple? Before I talk to her, is this temple something that's in my real world, or is this one of the differences?
This is actually one of the differences. So in your world, it wasn't strung up in the air in some like webbed canopies. There was webs and all that stuff thematically, but it was tucked under, the mountain, somewhere under the ground, and there was like a sky of colorful fauna. And this specific church structure was not part of the city you came from, although there was temples like this spoken of, just not part of your actual city in the game.
All right, Galadriel. I'm never going to remember the other name now.
Yeah, it's fine. I forget the elven names, literally. I forget everyone's name. I've made so many. It's insane.
You mean Zelana?
No.
Oh.
The one I
know
kidnapped,
exactly.
not the one I have to rip her heart out.
Geldria.
So, either from above, below, or behind. How am I getting into there without having to kill 85,000 people?
Above might be the easiest way to stay out of sight.
Gladys?
Most things coming here would be coming from below. I don't think they would be expecting anything to crawl down from where we came from.
Does that seem to check out in my tactical of brains, Woodrow?
Yeah, you think that judging from where you came from, up might just be more void of the realm, and essentially which goes into like either the astral or the ethereal transient planes where you travel. So yeah, you think that that's a good guess, is that they probably wouldn't expect things to be coming from above, from that way, more surrounding or below, or maybe opening portals so their eyes might not be, up.
So, within this structure, where is Zelana most likely to be?
All right, so go ahead and give me another intimidation check. She's going to tell you, but this will sort of see how she's reacting to the situation, if you can keep her calm or if her fear starts to get to her. Because you are literally taking her back to the den of someone who wants to torture her for eternity, so...
Oh, the chick does?
Yeah. So go ahead and just give me an intimidation check. Or you can, if you... I'm assuming you want to keep intimidating. You could try to use perception if you wanted to.
You mean persuasion?
Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry. One of the P words.
I pee. It scares her. 33?
Oh.
15 plus
Okay.
18.
So with her guidance, keeping her calm, keeping her memory able to recall,
Yeah.
she's able to give you a success on the skill challenge and sort of guide you where you would want to be to the place you would most likely run into Zolana. And she ends up telling you you could try the ceremony room to look there first, but Zolana was rarely there. She was usually holding private ceremony in her room more often than not. So if first place to try would probably be her room with a 33 intimidation check. So
Okay. So,
that is 4 successes.
has she outlived her usefulness? Are
She
we
might be on the next train to Stabby Town.
Are we near the edge where that abyss was?
So actually, yes, you broke out of an area where the pillars came down and sort of stopped, and you were over the city, and you kind of flew off to a section where the pillars continued to go down towards the city, where the temple is sort of built, and that part of that cathedral does hang over the abyss that's sort of next to the city. It's hanging down over the abyss from the pillars you came from.
Which, knowing what I know of law, which is going to be more merciful, outright killing her or dropping her into the abyss?
Ooh. Well, both are bad either way. Going into the abyss alive, wouldn't suggest it. Going into the abyss as a corpse, still pretty bad, because your soul will be trapped there. But you think it would probably be more merciful to kill her first, so then at least she doesn't have to be possibly devoured by either the energies of the void or the abyss or whatever's down there. And yeah.
Okay, final question. Would leaving her alive put me in danger at all while knowing what I'm doing?
Yes.
Damn it.
Well, bitch is dead.
Judging by the fact that she couldn't hold on to her faith, yes, you think she's a rat.
So I love that I was muted, but Luke and I had the exact same reaction the second you were like, yes, I was like, oh, she dead. She dead
That bitch
now.
stayed.
Well, I mean,
Oh, look. If it was
be
one of
honest-
us, you had a chance, but you're with
Bye,
this.
Felicia.
To be honest, I asked which was more merciful so I could do the less merciful thing, but now it's in my best interest to kill her first. Yeah. Yeah.
To do the less merciful thing? Jesus.
Yeah, I was literally gonna grapple
Just
strength
push her
check,
into the
toss her
abyss as you
off.
walk by?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks,
or
bitch.
like-
Bye.
Grab her by the face and push her backwards into the abyss. You know?
Okay, let's be real. Dis spent all of that time wanting to kill the little girl that we didn't kill, and then that ended up biting us in the ass. So, I mean,
That's fair. That's fair.
Dis is pretty homicidal, but for the most part, it's pretty much out of self-preservation.
To be fair, I didn't bite you in the ass with the little girl.
Accurate.
Don't take it out on me. No, I'm just kidding. No, that little...
Where's your leg?
Oh, good, it wasn't me.
She's a living dead girl. Oh, my hair in my back.
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay.
All
right.
that I heard was living dead girl.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
we heard the pun. And now, of course, I hear the song in my head.
I know, right?
So I would like to unmessily kill her, and then so I'm not leaving like blood traces behind, unless this area is just strewn with detritus.
No.
Okay. So yeah. Is she facing me or away from me?
In the moment, she's sort of like looking at the cathedral, looking back at you, trying to run options in her head of like, how the fuck, Drow. She's and definitely followers of Lolth. She is definitely trying to think of how to save herself. And if she's truly a follower of Illustri for the real reasons, she doesn't want to be here, so killing her will probably be, in the long run, a good thing for her.
Okay. So yeah. Since I'm an expert at killing, I'm gonna do this silently.
Killing her would be better for her in the long run.
Yeah.
She's
Like-
got to traverse the abyss.
I just love that it's like you're if we're gonna do a 10-year plan, killing her is probably
Oh,
On
look,
life
she was
insurance.
suffering in the cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
I've brought her to a place of maybe a bit less suffering.
Ah!
Now that's where I'm leaving
Yeah.
her.
Yep. You know, if Lolth gets her hands on this person alive, that they'll rat you out, more than likely.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, nat 20 to kill her.
Oh, well, with all of your cool assassin stuff and her not seeing you as a threat.
It's-
Yeah.
With that
all of
33
your-
intimidation.
Whoops.
Yeah,
Not threatening.
you're a set. Well, not in the way that she was assuming you were going to outright kill her. She thinks she still has some use, right? She's got some information in there she hasn't given you, maybe.
Her favorite color.
Yeah, she's holding some real deep stuff back. No,
Nice.
she doesn't seem to be expecting you to kill her. Your intimidation was so good. That goes into like, you know how the mafia invites you over for dinner before they shoot you in the back of the head? That is also intimidation. So it's just there's a little more charisma with that intimidation.
I do have high charisma.
Yeah, exactly.
So fucked up.
That's true
All
though.
right, so
I
Right in
didn't
the
say it
back.
wasn't true. It's just fucked up.
So yeah,
At least you get a good meal before you go, you know? I'm just saying. Gotta look on the bright side.
you want me
Nat-
to shut her up by jamming like an apple in her mouth as I stab her in the back?
Oh, you're gonna stick her like a pig?
So just out of
Got some
curiosity,
Rusalka left.
yeah, some Rusalka. But since Zinzarina is I almost said Zinzaria. Since Zinzarina is watching, I do want you to describe how you execute Geldria.
Hand on the mouth,
Zinzarina needs a story.
knife through the ribs into the heart from behind.
Oh.
Ooh,
Oof.
a friendly backstab.
And whispering in her ear, you chose the wrong drow to believe in.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But
This
the
is
cosmos hears it. The cosmos hears it.
By the way, the
So-
back of her head is pressing against the hot holy symbol against my armor.
Oh, nice. Okay. So there is a little trace of evidence of what happened, but not really. Zinzarina approves. So that actually counts as a success. You decided to kill her.
And
There was
I'll pivot
rewards
and
for
just
both.
drop her over the edge.
Okay. Down into the abyss she goes. And you watch her fall for a while before she just becomes so inconsequentially small she's swallowed by the darkness below. Your elven eyes can
Bye,
see all that.
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
We do
I
still have
just
some...
whisper in drow.
I do still need one check, and you can do stealth because your last two were not stealth. They were intimidation and in attack. A natural 20.
15 plus... What's my spell? 30.
A 30, okay. Let me make checks. 30. Okay. So you're sort of sneaking in. You notice
From
that
above.
from above. You notice that it is sort of open, an open ceiling, so she can look up at the torture that is taking place in the webs above. And she is sort of holding private ceremony. You can see that there is driders on the outside, sort of stalking, crawling over the structure here and there, but you sort of wait and time them. And with a 30 stealth, you sort of you can fly, so you sort of like glide down into the room out of the sight of the driders. I need you. You can see her before you make that stealth check and get into the room. You can sort of see her and hear her as you're approaching. You can hear her say, "Great goddess, mother of the dark, grant me the blood of my enemies for drink and their living hearts for meat. Grant me the screams of their young for song. Grant me the helplessness of their males for my satisfaction." And then you can see that she has a tiefling male, blue skin, tied up in front of her. She sort of has a dagger clutched to her chest with her hands sort of wrapped around it on kind of like a prayer. And then she says, "I honor you, Queen of Spiders." And she's sort of starting to go into her sacrificial ritual when she stops as you glide in the room. I need you to make me, so she rolled a 19, which plus 11 is a 30. So that's a draw on a stealth. So essentially, I need you to make me an initiative check to see if you can get the jump on her.
Okay. And just to let you know, the next thing that's going to go off is alter self, because I did say I was going to take the form of things arena.
Yeah, you did. Also, as you're approaching,
I will take that.
so I'm assuming as you're approaching, you're setting up your assassin sort of stuff. So anything you would have to quote unquote cast is essentially done when you go to sneak in the room. I'm not gonna make you be so dumb that you wait to get into the room that you do all that stuff, because I know mechanically that's how like quote unquote the game works or whatever. But you can say like I'm preparing before I get in and all that stuff. So like your cleric stuff or whatever it's called. Can't remember what it's called, where you mark them. You can have that already
Hunter's
done
mark.
and set. Yeah. So or any spells that you want to concentrate on cast, just so you're aware. But
Now, what's that one that makes it susceptible to, what is it?
damage.
guiding
It's
bolt.
that gives advantage on your next attack. The one that makes them vulnerable is your cleric channel divinity. I can't remember what it's called, but it's in your cleric class abilities.
Yes. Channel divinity. There we go. Done.
Yeah, so
All
that
right.
could be done before you enter, but I do need an initiative check to see if you can beat her, which she doesn't have a crazy dexterity. She's not a rogue. She is just a spellcaster.
I only rolled a 24.
Only a 24. Interesting. Her initiative is only +2. She got a 20. Okay. So you go before her. You get the jump, but you can tell that when you land, something about the way you land or the way your mechanical wings shrink back down or rest from flight has tipped her off, because she stops the prayer after she says, "I honor you, Queen of Spiders," and raises the dagger and stops as soon as you land. But you get the jump. So what do you do with your first turn?
Okay. So alter self is running. That's a concentration spell. What is it? Performance or persuasion to convince her I'm someone else?
Performance. You could. It's deception or performance usually. But with
Okay.
deception or performance, either one. It wouldn't be persuasion though. Ooh.
You thought you could escape from my service.
but you're dead. This is some kind of trick. And you can see, like, she goes to cast a spell, and with your arcane knowledge base, you can see she's going to cast, like, similar to, like, a true sight or something like that to discern if this is an illusion. You can see she's actually frightened once she sees who and what you are. She was used to, or expecting someone to try and get one over on her. She was going to turn around with confidence and make some speech she's had prepared for this moment for years, but when she sees the visage you chose, all of those words are just halted in her throat, and she just goes to cast the spell and says, "This must be some kind of illusion. You're dead."
Okay, you said that my minor teleportation spells don't work.
Yeah, your teleport, like any sort of teleporting and stuff, doesn't work.
Any of it, including the one that's keyed to my armor.
Yes. Yeah. As a bonus action, can't you summon your shadow, like up to 30 feet away from you? So you can use movement.
And then
like,
switch places with it?
Physically move. Well, your shadow can attack. You don't have to be the one attacking.
Do you have to say something to cast spells in this world?
It depends if it has, I think, if the spell has verbal components. If it's a class ability, like your shadow stuff, then no. But if it's a spell you're casting, yes.
No, I meant could my shadow attacking her interrupt her spell casting?
Oh, you get to go before her. I'm just saying she's going to make those movements on her turn. You think she's going to try and discern if this is some illusion. Your arcane skill is sort of letting you see that in the somatic and verbal components that she's about. She's starting to do. But you have to jump on her because you made your check. It's all like sort of happening in that moment when you say that.
Then my shadow is attacking her from behind.
Okay. And she's vulnerable, and you have advantage on the attack. Whoa. Technically, she doesn't see it coming.
Oh, 16 plus 30 to hit.
A 30 to hit. All right. Her AC with shield. Okay, so you can see with her awareness flickering around, there's a moment when you sort of like gesture as in Zarina, and she can sort of sense that final moment coming with her survival instinct. She goes to try and switch her spell to cast shield as a reaction, and it doesn't work. The 30 goes through her AC even with the shield, and the shadowed rapier sticks out of her chest where her heart is, and she sort of looks down at the shadow, which is one of Zinzarina's. It's in Zinzarina's portfolio, the ability as shadow. So she sort of looks down at that, looks at you in the form, and go ahead and make me. Oh no, you did. You get a 30. Your intimidation was a. Wait, did you roll a deception to lie to her, or did you just use the? I don't know if you made a
Did I roll?
deception check.
I don't remember, guys.
I don't think you did. So I'll need either a deception, an intimidation, or something to sort of convince her. Essentially, deception, performance, intimidation.
So, a 13 plus 15. If I intimidate, it's a 28.
Okay, so you're gonna dig into the fear that you've already sort of instilled with the spell, which is why you can use this, and that means the stealth is, so you only had one fail from the failed stealth this whole thing. Okay, so with the amount of damage you're going to do with the attack, there's no need to roll damage especially because you cast vulnerability, and it's going to be a crit with assassination because you beat her initiative. But what she does say before you see the sort of light leave her eyes is a little bit of blood starts to trickle out of her mouth, and she goes, I was wrong to think she could have killed you. And she sort of like snickers. And you remember that this used to be a priest or a follower of Zinzarina, and has been sort of swayed away from Lolth in this final moment as your shadow sort of drains the life from her.
I need the heart, though.
What would you like to do from here? You're in this room alone?
Get the heart.
Okay. So you physically cut her chest open and remove her heart.
Is that a medicine?
For this,
Give me a surgery check.
You're not trying to determine or be very or heal them. So I would say no. This is more of like a skinning check, but you're not necessarily trying to get it out pretty either. So you're good. As you're cutting away, sort of prying the ribs open to get to the heart or go underneath it, or however you're making the cavity to get there, you feel yourself grab the heart in the body, and as soon as you remove the heart, there's this sort of sucking sensation that you've felt from planar travel before, where it's like a and everything sort of equilibrium changes. There's like a pop in your ears, and you're looking at the heart you just pulled out of this a priestess of Lolth in her chambers, but behind your hand you swear you see the cabin of your ship, and you see yourself with the heart of this priestess in your hand in the cabin where you went to take your trance previously. And the holy symbol in your power armor is starting to cool, but you can still feel that like radiant heat's a hot spot on it, but it's no longer glowing or burning.
Are the webs still in this room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, they are.
Let me see here. Would spare the dying prevent decay to the severed?
No, that would. It's not spare the dying. I think that's it's a different one. It's like gentle repose, I think. But you could have Perry or Suzaria. I think can also do it with his being a druid if she's taken it. But there's people who can do that for you if you want to. If you would like to preserve it and sort of make a totem or artifact out of it.
Yes. Yeah. Or somehow incorporate it into my blade. By the way, does my blade feel normal again?
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
You get a sense that since it's an artifact of Zinzarina, it just had a different property there when she was using her magic on you. Almost like she took magic, drained magic from the weapon to give you the ability to free yourself and move around in Lolth's plane.
Nice.
Unchecked. So,
all right.
You now have had first-hand experience with your former at one time patron that was forced upon you that you left, and you have some inkling that, oh, all this is in fact very real, even if it was some video game or thought that birthed you, just because you weren't birthed from an actual drow body and maybe the mind of a drow or some other mortal. It's in the end, it's all just as real, at least to you.
As real as belief.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I get the impression that Zinzarina is going to want to jump immediately, or?
Oh, you get the feeling that Zinzarina is very happy. Also, I'll have to add to your sheet, but your sword, or your rapier, has been, what is it called? Exalted, I think is what it's called now. It's been fully awakened by your trip to Lolth's plane. There was another way to do it. Killing a great target of vengeance would have also awakened it, but what you just went through was far greater than that, so it is awakened. And also, everyone gains a level.
And also, I'll
Nice.
reach out across the link to Bryn to say I'm back.
You're muted.
I said thank you so I can stop panicking.
Now, I guess the question becomes, an assassin level or a cleric level?
Both would make sense.
Yeah, they would. They really would. So slippery mind, proficiency in wisdom saving throws for assassin.
Dang.
Do what?
I just want you to be aware that you went through a challenge with DCs from 26 to 30 and only failed one. So, yeah.
I'm kind of a glass cannon
Congrats.
in terms of where my stats are. So,
Oh, I know.
which is why when you put your mind to it, you fuck me up so badly.
If I want to just purposely torture people, I could. But I try to let the scenarios play out, not just be like, ooh, I could do this right now. I mean, I don't always do the smartest thing. I'm kind of retarded, but still, I don't know. I don't want to torture my players. Just make things hard.
Well, you know, you being human and fallible, it makes it easier for us to be human and fallible and fuck up as well.
Also-
'Cause, you know, everything totally goes according to plan for us.
OP gear helps too. Whoa.
Yeah. Ooh, divine intervention.
So when you teleport back and let at least Bryn know that you're back, do you just stay there and finish your rest after all that, or do you get up and try to see what everyone's doing, or are you just chilling?
I'm gonna get up, check in on Bryn, so I guess kind of meet her halfway, because I imagine she would be propelling herself at high speed toward me.
So as you go to make your way towards Kronos' ship where they all are, Bryn is darting out towards you. You guys meet before getting into the ship, and you can hear from the inside of the ship, you can hear Suzaria, Kronos, and Kirby all frantically having a debate on what your real name is and not being able to make a decision.
So when I see Dis, I basically run, jump in their arms, give them a huge hug, and then immediately like push them away and punch them in the arm, be like, "Don't ever do that to me again!" And then I pull them back in for another hug without allowing for an explanation of what the fuck happened yet, because I'm just all over emotionally.
When you pull Dis in, your power armor that you wear generally like is resistant to heat now, so it's not like damaging you or anything, but you can feel even just his skin, the armor, everything about them is just kind of hot, like wherever they were from, almost like they were like in an oven for a while and then they came out.
In
you get
hell?
a sense that you get a sense that it's probably to do with the nature of where they were, and they smell like the webs, kind of like sulfuric.
Ew. It's like, okay, you're taking a shower now as well.
But I got a cool trophy, and I hold up the heart.
Okay, I'm gonna need a debrief of what the fuck happened. And
You're a
also,
barbarian.
I
You
need
should
your
like this.
I need your full name. Just in case this happens again. You just tell me what your full true name is. Because this has been, do you hear those bitches over there? They've been at it like that for like an hour. They're
Hey.
still trying to figure it out.
I lean in and whisper, because I can't put this across the telepathic network.
Fair.
It's that dude in the special.
Oh. Well, on me?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, when did you do that?
I just grinned.
That's what happened when I got drunk that one night. This all makes sense now. Now I know why my ass hurt.
It's now rapier than before.
So
That's funny.
I just grabbed Dis's hand and like casually walk in to where they're having this major fucking debate on what Dis's full name is. And I'm just like, "Hi guys, this is back."
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
we were totally effective.
Yes.
Fuck
I was
yeah.
gone. I was
We
gone
could-
for weeks.
You were gone for hours, but okay.
I was gone for weeks. Look at how much my nails have grown.
Interesting.
I have nails.
Wait, is that a thing?
Surprisingly, Dis's hair is a little
shaggy.
longer. A little longer, a little shaggy. Yeah, but no, you definitely feel like you've been gone for a few weeks, and it has only been on in this plane several hours. Just so people are aware, that is accurate.
So I'll explain it all later. But I'm saying this later. I'll explain it all later. But for right now, I'm just going to say this. I lean my head back, look straight up, and say, Lolth is a bitch. And one day, she will be my bitch.
When
All right.
Dis says that, Dis, you can feel your weapon sort of remember how it was gripping your hand before, like barbed wire or like a thorn bush. It's sort of
Yeah.
It doesn't penetrate, but god damn it, better choice of words. It doesn't stab you, but it sort of like grips your hand when you say that. It's sort of like fuck yeah. And then Bryn, you notice that your axe on your back or wherever you have it strapped in your body,
Yeah.
or on your hand, wherever, it gets heavy as well. It's sort of like the axe wants that challenge.
Something tells me the next time you go to fight her, I should be with you. For a plethora of reasons, but I have a feeling that there's something that is eager to assist.
You know, if yeah, he won't like being in a cocoon for many days. It was
I
unpleasant.
also don't like waking up to a bunch of spiderwebs in our room, so you know.
I also smell bad right now.
You really fucking do.
Alex, I'm nope. Okay.
Yes! Yes!
You said it's even rapier than before.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's too funny. It's too funny.
Awful.
But
It is.
so yeah, essentially, from here, in terms of going forward, the goal will be the rebels are helping you storm the moon of the Elven homeworld, so you can get Kirby's avatar body, and basically, essentially, complete the malicious code that's in all of your bodies. So Manos won't have any influence over you, won't be able to watch you anymore.
Hey, creeper trying to watch us while we're
Yeah.
sleeping and showering and stuff.
That code-
You fucking perv.
Essentially lets him always know where you are. It's kind of like a hunter's mark for him, and he has some influence over you.
I would
different
like to
ways.
report it to the authorities. I feel like that is an invasion of my privacy.
You should be on the
And then-
list.
He should
Also-
be on the list.
He is. He's on our fucking hit list.
Yeah. Kronos literally has a code that's trying to decipher all his malicious code to track him down. You'll find what plane he's in, but beyond the Manos stuff, the code and tracking him down and physically removing him from existence, you also have Perry and everyone else in the Kirby's. They're essentially trying to build a planar model of the universe or the cosmos, so you guys can have some idea of how to traverse it from that point on. So that's essentially what we'll get into at the start of next episode, is what kind of they've discovered, and you guys can decide where you want to go from there.
Oh, I need to give the heart to Cesaria and ask her to preserve it for me for
Oh yeah.
later.
When you go to give her the heart, she just looks at you like seriously, and there's a moment of like, holy shit, I'm glad you made it through that. And then the moment the look switches to sarcasm to ease the tension of the elven understanding in that moment, and she goes like, don't ever go anywhere without letting us know again, please. And yes, I can
It
very,
wasn't by choice.
very easy. I'm aware, but that was a rough couple hours. I'm glad
It
you made
was
it
a
out.
rough few weeks. I agree.
And then she proceeds to essentially gentle repose the heart and turn it and preserve it so it will never like rot or decompose. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be a spell used in the heart of your enemy, or yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It's a good
Bryn,
keepsake.
let's
if
go
nothing
take a
else.
shot. Yeah, I mean it's definitely going, on the mental above the bed. But... You're
Well,
a
if you can.
barbarian. This is like an aphrodisiac to you.
I disagree with the aphrodisiac part, especially with the smell coming off of it all.
It's more of rage-inducing.
And again, that might just mostly be you.
Hence the shower.
I really dislike spider webs. They smell rancid.
This dislikes too.
Yeah.
Enar, if you haven't fucking traumatized him.
I mean,
So, when you go check on him, you see that the dogs are all sitting in a line at him at the foot of the bed he's sitting on. Good. And he's doing his best in grunting and chimpanzee, because it's kind of how he speaks, to tell the dogs the story of what happened. He's essentially, she came in, she scared me, she brought me into the room, the smell scared me, and then her face scared me. I mean, you have no idea what he's saying, but that's what it seems like he's saying.
so I just go, yeah, maybe we should probably go check on Enar real quick, just so he can
Some
probably
person's
stop
trying to get me to
panicking.
eat the heart.
Yeah.
You could.
Kalima.
It'd make the good chili.
Little cayenne
We'll talk about it. How many spell levels does Cesaria have a day
So
per caster level?
Yeah, essentially. But because I don't want it to just rot on you, I'm just letting her cast like
Our
something
parry
around
can
a
help.
7th, and you could just keep it permanency.
All right.
It's not gonna give you any special powers, so I'm not worried about it.
So I could shrink it and wear it as a necklace.
Yeah, and I mean, unless you want to do something cool with it, but that would take like some resources and spells, and so I mean.
Hey, we still have some of that dark wood.
Mm-hmm.
And some parts of the elementals. Yeah. We'll
Alex. Ugh. It's like a dad joke and a half.
that's pretty horrible.
Womp womp.
All right, so I'll go leave it, Enar.
Wondro's like laughing his ass off over there too.
Which
is like, that's hilarious.
That's my kind of joke. I like wordy, stupid pun stuff.
Keep the heart close to your heart. Oh my god.
It's too much.
So
Too much of that,
oh, I can always, bludgeon fucking dude to death with it. Yeah. Manos.
I was gonna say Kronos.
Bludgeon
Don't
Kronos to death.
bludgeon Kronos with a heart.
The lizard man in your ship that's still passed out. I'm just kidding. He's probably
Yeah.
woken up like, where am I?
The fuck is happening?
You are free. Actually, Kirby Steve should talk to him if he's going to be doing the investigation of the servers, since this guy was working on them. And I'll wave hi to Enar and say, "Yep, I'm back. I'm fine. Don't smell me."
Essentially, the lizard, kind of what you guys had assumed. He was kidnapped and forced to try and fix that, and it turns out the person who did all that stuff originally, who tried to at least, was Sylph. I don't know if you remember Sylph. He was the water genasi who was brain whammied by the
Yeah,
the
and was in
yogi.
that machine.
Yeah, with to make the planar machine, the Yogi were forcing planar maps in his head. So then when you brought him back to Terrace, he ran away with some of the prisoners that the barbarians had for originally in that town. He sort of ran off with them, and they were essentially recaptured. And then when people came to sort of like fight the the barbarians. Sylph escaped with them. The lizard folk was the only one who wasn't able to escape, and they just essentially were like, "Hey, you're here now. You do this." And he's like a ship mechanic. He has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he essentially tells Kirby that yes, Sylph is down there on Terrace, fighting against the barbarians with like some small rebel group of barbarians that's still on Terrace, like trying to fuck up those frost giants.
More
But
power
now
to
there's a
them.
hell.
We're not going back.
Yeah, fuck that place. There's so much shit there now.
Bren and I get brooms and clear out our quarters.
Knock down the spider webs.
Yeah.
Just
It's
like,
the first
Can't.
session to not only end with a shower, but a impromptu cleaning session.
Yeah, I
right?
was gonna say. I almost deleted this banner like 65 times.
It is a wrap-up shower.
14.
14 billion.
Ooh.
That's awesome. To be honest, we have 112,000 gold right now. I'm really hoping we find an ATM.
Find a what?
got an ATM. We've got to withdraw this into something physical before we leave this universe.
Yeah, we got to turn it into gold.
Yes.
Well, now,
Wait a minute,
now
I
you
thought
know
we
it's a
had 'em.
demi-plane. You do have a bunch of gold, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought we had. I thought it was a bunch of gold.
Yeah.
Well, some of it was electronic. I thought.
Some of it was electronic credits, and I said whenever you're like in a city or something, you can just transfer it from like, credits to gold or whatever. Which I think you
Alright,
guys did at the bounty hunter office before you got
Yeah.
ambushed by that bounty hunter.
Before we get
Yeah.
before we got ambushed.
After the death ray, before the sniper rifles. Yes.
Yep.
Now we're-
Yep.
Good.
And then, yeah, so you'll have to decide, do you get rid of this demi-plane and go to the material universe, or do you just take over the demi-plane? Who knows what happens when Manos dies?
Well, if we leave it up to Dis, we're going to be taking over a demi-plane.
I really
pretty
don't.
soon.
Zinzarino will have a new demi-plane of existence. to
Yeah,
call
actually,
home.
yes. Let's. You know what? No one else is stepping up to call it.
I
So
don't
it's,
know.
then
I
Serena
don't
can do
wanna-
it, and we can leave.
Okay.
Bring back the drow here.
All right. Dude, this was fun. This was a crazy fucking episode.
No maps needed.
Nope.
Theater of the mind. Theater
All
of the
skill
mind.
challenge. All skill challenge.
Oh.
I was hoping
Well,
that
thank
would...
you, everybody. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was just gonna say I was hoping that would actually last as long as it did, because I was afraid it would be over in like an hour, and then I'd be like, okay, I guess.
You're like, well, I didn't prep for anything else, so fuck it. It's,
Well, that's all the material I got. Da, 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 da.
Anyway, yeah.
No, this was really awesome, and I'm glad that it took as long as it did, and I'm glad that I was
We all got our little piece.
coherent enough for my
Yeah,
piece.
once you
that I-
connected.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was fun. That was enjoyable, not being able to connect at all. I don't know what's up with my computer. I'm gonna have to bring it down to you tomorrow.
That's fine.
But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Valkyrie. Shay needs to go to bed because I feel like I'm gonna die. But we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.